Network Game Day coverage starts tonight at 6:30 on the home of the Brewers, News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 12 o'clock. I'm Greg Matzek. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Wednesday, August 20th. Your top story, dismissed following errors in a court filing.
I'm Jessica Tighe. An accident involving the National Guard in D.C.
Overall, pretty nice day today. A flood warning continues, however, for the Fox River Lower in Kenosha County until Monday morning. Partly cloudy, breezy today. Just a spotty sprinkle, perhaps, at a high of 74. Clear tonight at a low of 65. 70 and cloudy in Milwaukee at 12:01. From the WTMJ breaking newsroom, no longer involved in his son's civil case, at least for now. A Milwaukee judge dismissed Stephen Anderson without prejudice in the wrongful death lawsuit tied to his son, convicted murderer Maxwell Anderson.
I do find that there were, things that were not done here that should have been done, but on balance, I don't find that warrants a dismissal with prejudice.
The family of 19-year-old Sade Robinson is suing the Andersons in her death. The current dismissal leaves open the possibility of refiling the case against Father Stephen Anderson in the future. Maxwell Anderson is serving life in prison without parole in the death and dismemberment of Robinson.
More than $16 million in state aid is headed to Wisconsin's largest school district, MPS.
The Department of Public Instruction says Milwaukee Public Schools has finally completed financial reports from the 2022 to 23 fiscal year that caused the state aid to be withheld originally. The funds will be directed to special education and students who are raising children of their own. DPI is expected to release the remaining $25 million in state aid in the coming weeks when final reports for the 2023-24 fiscal year and a review of the district's plans for improvement are sent. That will be the final release of all funds withheld by DPI. Sean Brinda, WTMJ News.
A National Guard vehicle collided with a civilian vehicle near the Capitol today in Washington, D.C. Person was trapped in the car, had to be rescued by emergency responders. The driver taken to the hospital for minor injuries. The incident comes as an estimated 1,900 troops took positions around the Capitol during President Trump's crime crackdown, more than half coming from Republican-led states. Attorney General Pam Bondi says over 550 people have been arrested so far.
Texas state lawmakers are expected to vote today on a controversial plan to redraw congressional districts. The new map would flip 5 seats into Republican-leaning districts. Dozens of Democratic lawmakers protested the vote by leaving the state for 2 weeks. Politics reporter for the Texas Tribune, Kayla Gowo.
I think you'll hear Democrats argue that the map unconstitutionally packs and spreads voters of color across districts, making it less likely for them to be able to select their preferred candidate. Republicans will tell you that this map was drawn purely to maximize partisan gain. It does create 1 additional Hispanic majority seat and 2 additional Black majority seats, in addition to 2 majority white seats. So I think that question of whether it unconstitutionally dilutes the voting power of communities of color is sort of up in the air.
The GOP Texas House Speaker assigned round-the-clock police monitors for the Democrats to keep them from leaving again.
And the countdown is on to free burgers from George Webb's all across southeastern Wisconsin.
It's a quiet morning here outside the George Webb in Brookfield. Just a few locals are scattered inside for breakfast, but in a few hours, this calm scene will be long gone. From 2 until 6 this afternoon, the restaurant will be handing out free burgers to celebrate the Brewers' 12-game win streak. The last time this tradition rolled out, the line stretched across the sidewalk and past the Aldi next door. Workers here are bracing for the same kind of rush today, with more than 2,300 burgers already prepared at this location alone. In Brookfield, Nizer Spencer, WTMJ News.
Hey, Nizer out there all morning long. He had the tough assignment today. We'll check in with him coming up in a few minutes.
The Miz takes the ball tonight. We're talking sports, traffic, and weather next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time. Is 12:04. Greg with the markets.
First of all, news sponsored by LE Mental Health. Visit lementalhealth.com.
The Mental Health Minute.
I'm Kelly, licensed clinical social worker and director of LE Mental Health Waukesha. As a parent myself, I can feel the back-to-school season fast approaching. If you find your kid excited 1 minute and melting down over the wrong colored folder the next, welcome. You are in good company. This time of year brings a lot. New teachers, new routines, new social stuff, and for many kids, that also means new worries. Stomach aches, sleep trouble, big emotions over small things. It's all so normal, but that doesn't mean they have to go through it alone, and neither do you. At LE Mental Health, we use cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, to help kids understand their thoughts, manage their feelings, and build real-life coping skills. We turn "what if I mess up" into "I've got this." Whether your child is struggling or could just use a little extra support, we are here to help them feel more confident and in control. Give us a call today.
This has been the Mental Health Minute. Get started on your mental health journey today at elliementalhealth.com.
Now time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. A lot of red here this afternoon with the Dow off about 31 points at 44,890. Another rough day for the NASDAQ here, down about 200 points at 21,110. S&P 500 off about 30 at 63.82. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom-quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all sports desk. The Brewers begin the day with a 7-game lead over the Cubs for first place in the NL Central after dropping both games of Tuesday's doubleheader in Chicago. Starter Brandon Woodruff with a little perspective.
We're not affected by losing 2 games in a row. It's baseball. We'll come back. We'll be ready to go the next 2 and see how they play out. But coming off 14 wins in a row, you feel like you can't lose another one. Then when you lose 2 in a row, it feels like the world's falling apart, but it's really not. So we're doing just fine.
Coverage of tonight's game begins following the 6 o'clock news on WTMJ. Jacob Mizorowski takes the mound for the Crew. And the Packers welcome in the Seahawks for a joint practice on Thursday. Jordan Love continues to be limited at practice. Malik Willis continues to take first-team reps.
I think it's been awesome, just continuing to learn and grow and continue to get reps with guys that I don't usually get the opportunity to get reps with. Just continue to, see what Matt likes, and he can see what I like, and we can continue to just grow together.
The teams will wrap up the preseason Saturday afternoon at Lambeau. And the Bucks signed free agent forward Amir Coffey, 6 foot 7 inches tall. He averaged about 10 points and 2 rebounds per game with the Clippers last season.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. No crashes out in the system to let you know about. Fantastic news there. We do have a handful of disabled vehicles. The most recent one happened right before noon. I-43 north beyond the ramp from Wisconsin 32 south, Grafton Avenue out in Ozaukee County. The right shoulder is blocked due to a car that's broken down there. I do see a little bit of a delay, so there's a little bit of a backup. Once again, this is I-43 north, a little bit beyond the ramp from Wisconsin 32 south, Grafton Avenue. Right shoulder is blocked right now because of a car that's broken down.
Flood warning continues until Monday morning for the Fox River lower in Kenosha County. Today, partly cloudy and breezy, just a spotty sprinkle perhaps, and a high of 74. Clear tonight and a low of 65. Sun is out in full force here on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, with temperatures ranging from the upper to mid 70s and lower 80s. Should be a great stretch of weather beginning tomorrow. It's currently 71 and cloudy in Milwaukee at 12:09.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzek and Jessica Tighe.
So on the day Dunkin' comes out with their pumpkin spice season, like the fall menu is fully on at Dunkin'. They're always first to the game with this kind of stuff, by the way. But on the day this happens, I come into the studio and realize that you have a most interesting collaboration here of coffee, and it's not Dunkin' related.
No.
What in the world do you have there?
This is a Twix iced coffee. Twix, ooh, I love those. Like, as a kid, when you went trick-or-treating, if I could get one of those little Twix, yum, I love it. The caramel, the crunch, so good. This is made with Victor Allen's coffee. I think the first time I ever spied this was in Menards. My husband was in Menards for like 45 minutes looking at something I didn't even know what it was. So I went to go peruse, and I saw this, and I was like, whoa. And it's really good. It's really good. And now they have it in the grocery stores, too. It's not just Menards.
So you brought that from home. It wasn't just an impulse buy.
No. I bought it. It was on sale the other day at Metro Market, so I got two, and I brought it today, Greg.
Well, there you go. A Twix collaborative coffee for Jessica on the day that pumpkin spice everything is started at Dunkin'. All right, well, 12:10 here on WTMJ. I know it goes good with a cup of coffee. How about a burger? We'll get to that coming up in a second.
It's now at noon on Wisconsin's Midday News.
DNA testing now confirms a Pewaukee native is the sole suspect in the murders of his 3 young daughters. The Washington State Crime Lab has determined Travis Decker's DNA was detected in the plastic bags found over the girls' heads, as well as cable ties found near their bodies. The sheriff's office out in Washington State that's investigating the deaths just revealed the details in a news release. That release says the completion of the DNA analysis provides additional evidence that indicates Decker was the only person involved in the homicides. The girls were found dead back in June near a campground in central Washington. They were just 5, 9, and 8. Decker is a former Army soldier originally from Pewaukee, Wisconsin. He has not been found yet.
Airports are rolling out a new way to fast track through security as those airports get busier. Clear is partnering with the TSA to launch the new eGates system. This is for Clear Plus members. It means travelers will no longer have to show IDs to TSA officials. Instead, they can just verify their identity using a biometric scanner. ABC's Lionel Moise.
The new e-gates join other options available to flyers to get through security faster. This comes at a time when travel is booming. TSA reports 7 of its 10 busiest travel days ever were this year alone. And next year, millions will travel for soccer's World Cup here in the U.S. and the country's 250th birthday.
So to reiterate here, no interaction with a human at all. That will not be required. You go straight to baggage screening after that biometric scan, which I guess tells people that you're safe, I guess. The program already up and running in Atlanta, Seattle, and Washington are going to be next. They'll expand this out to other cities, and I presume before too long be here in Milwaukee. So kind of a test program right now, but they're trying to make things more quick for you getting through.
Speaking of Milwaukee, downtown Milwaukee's first dog park opens today. This is a project that reshapes the downtown Riverwalk, adding 400 feet of new public access to the route. The dog park is located on Clybourne Street, right across the river, basically from the public market. We talked with Paul Schwartz, executive director of the Milwaukee Public Market, ahead of today's grand opening. He was one of the major players in making this downtown dog park happen. And Schwartz says this is going to fill a big void downtown.
With the uptick in growth of downtown residents and the amount of people who own dogs, especially over the pandemic, it became a huge need and a void that was not filled. So we took it upon ourselves to work with partners at the state of Wisconsin, who actually owns the land, Milwaukee County, City of Milwaukee, and then a host of individuals and private companies that really believed in this and the efforts, and it just grew from there.
Grand opening is at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Expect a ribbon cutting and a yappy hour. Bring your dog to the grand opening today, and it can be among the first to market's territory at the new spot, Greg.
Well, if they that would be something, right? Is that like the dog version of putting your hands in the concrete when you
kinda, yeah,
I don't know, open a new location or something in the sidewalk?
It's new. Marking my spot.
There you go. And then the next dog will be beyond it to trumpet, and that's how it goes, right?
There you
Dogs
go.
just sort of do that thing. 12:14 on WTMJ. On my drive in this morning, I was amazed. Maybe not so amazed to hear that Nazir Spencer, one of our intrepid reporters, was out at a George Webb in Brookfield, just having breakfast with the locals, hanging out, waiting for the burger line to develop. My assumption is that it's starting to, maybe around now. It is Free Burger Day. Nazir joins us coming up after this. Now at noon, sponsored by Flanners Home Entertainment. Check them out online at flanners.com. It is sound advice at the best price. Flanners Home Entertainment. Just press play. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzek here for Flanners Home Entertainment. Does the audio and video system in your home need an upgrade? Well, Flanners has all the solutions and the installation experts to simplify and upgrade your home entertainment experience. Forget about the impersonable big box stores and risky online purchases. You go with locally owned Flanners, where quality service, the best brands, and guaranteed best price remain top priorities. Stop by Flanners in West Dallas, Grafton, or at flanners.com. Sound advice at the best price. Just press play.
If you have not experienced the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club, please do so this week. Friday, the all-you-can-eat haddock fish fry is one of the best, especially with an old-fashioned. This Saturday only, enjoy a chicken chipotle Alfredo pasta dinner with your choice of soup or salad and homemade bread with honey cinnamon butter for just $46.99. And that's for 2 dinners. Unwind with a cocktail in one of the 8 unique dining rooms. The Fox and Hounds is just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of the Holy Hill Shrine. The summer drive is just beautiful. This Saturday only, enjoy 2 chicken Alfredo pasta dinners for under $47. Dinner starts at 3 p.m. Arrive early. Desserts are buy one, get one free. The strawberry sham tort is amazing. All other dinners are buy one, get one free every night. Call and reserve today. foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
Hi, this is Bruce Nemovitz, Senior Real Estate Specialist and founder of Bruce's team. We understand that moving from your longtime home can feel overwhelming. Ready for a smaller space, warmer climate, want to live closer to the grandkids, or you're just sick of the upkeep? From downsizing to preparing your home for sale, our team has guided over 3,000 families through the transition. Bruce's team helps you every step of the way. Let us take you from overwhelmed to I can do this. Visit brucesteam.com today.
Well, overall, pretty nice day today with temperatures topping out of the mid-70s. Just a slight chance for a spotty sprinkle, but nothing to be concerned with here. Radar looking pretty clear right now. Overnight low in the low 60s. Tomorrow the sun is back out in full force with a high of 77 degrees. We're going to be that way for the next several days. A lot of sun, no moisture in the air, no precipitation, no rain in the forecast until maybe just a chance on Sunday. 70 and cloudy in Milwaukee, approaching 12-17. Well, the burgers begin being handed out at 2 today, 2 o'clock to 6. Now, initially they said 2 to 6, but they didn't put AM or PM on it, so it's a 24-hour restaurant. You got to think about these things. But yes, it's 2 p.m. to 6 p.m., so right in time for a mid-afternoon snack, maybe an early dinner at George Webb locations. Free burgers, 100,000 vouchers were handed out earlier this week, and the lines might be starting to form. Perhaps we're getting a little closer to it. But those lines were not developing super early this morning.
No, but you know who was out there? WTMJ reporter Nazir Spencer was out at the George Webb in Brookfield early this morning, and you got to see kind of like behind the scenes as everybody was getting ready. What was it like, and how pumped are they for this day?
Oh, they're pumped. First of all, happy Burger Day to everyone. Free Burger Day. So
thank you.
It was great. It's like a national holiday, right? But it was great over there. You know, I was just stuck around in the morning, had some breakfast with some of the locals there, and then they showed me in the back where they had this station of where they're going to be, you know, releasing these burgers in boats every minute, every second that they can. You know, they're going to be pumping them out all day long. They got a whole little station back there. They got the buns ready. They got the meat ready in the freezer right now. They're probably going to start within the next 40 minutes or so making those. So it should be fun for them so far. They're a little nervous.
So my guess is that they're not waiting for the order, right?
No.
They just start cranking here. It's like an assembly line.
Yep.
You start moving through and just go until 6 o'clock, and people are happy and satisfied.
Kind of like a little buffet. They're going to be putting these burgers out on the little bar that they have there, and then just keep them going as much as they can. Put them in the boats, put them down, and you know, you walk in, you get your burger, and you have a good time. If you have your voucher, you can probably get another burger and get the fries along with it with $4. So it'd be fun. Yeah.
Oh, that's smart, just to have the buffet. So were any of the people who you talked to today there the last time this happened? Because that's the cool part about this, too, is that it's only happened. I mean, the Brewers have only hit this streak 12 in a row 2 other times before this. So were any of the workers there the last time for the chaos, the craziness, and the happiness of it all?
Yes, absolutely. There's a server. Her name is Jessica as well, and she was telling me, you know, last time it was great, and Vice President Ryan Stam, he was telling me that the last time in 2018 that the line was wrapped all the way around Aldi, past the Dollar Tree, past the Aldi. It was all the way wrapped around next door, and last time it was hectic, Jessica told me, but it was fun. So, you know, she's expecting it to be way more this time because it's more hype around it. just more fun. People are loving the Brewers around this time. It's baseball city, so everyone's going to be coming out.
I grew up in Brookfield. Jessica spent some time in Brookfield. We know how Brookfield people work, right? 6 a.m., there ain't going to be no line at George Webb's in Brookfield. There's just not. There's not going to be.
For free burger.
Right? People are working. People are hustling kids off to different things, right? It's not part of their daily work routine. So, but as you get into the mid-afternoon, all of a sudden that traffic starts to head back to the western suburbs, and right, it becomes more a thing that fits into your day. So I would assume that it is going to be busy between 2 and 6, but I'm not surprised it wasn't very busy this morning.
Right. She told me that once they start making these burgers, that's usually when the lines start picking up a little bit. So around 1 o'clock, maybe even 10 minutes from now, we don't know. But it could start at 12:30, it could start at 1 o'clock. And she said that she expects it to start a little bit earlier, but at 2 o'clock, she knows it's going to be busy nonstop until 6 o'clock. So
I was kind of curious about the locations downtown because I thought it is a little bit different than out in the burbs. And I just called the location on MLK. I talked to the manager, Melissa, and I said, "Do you guys have a line?" And she said, one person. There is one person in line right now at the George Webb on MLK Drive. I guess he's been there since about 11.
Yeah, it's probably Alex Stroh from ESPN Milwaukee. I wouldn't be surprised if he hopped down for that.
Did they give you a burger? Did you get to take a bite this morning, or was it still breakfast time?
Still breakfast time. They gave me some breakfast. It was nice, but they didn't show me any of the burgers yet. So we'll get to that eventually. Hopefully, we get to see some good burgers later on. But I'm expecting them to have a little bit of fun. She told me they're a little nervous, because there's going to be a lot of people coming in. It's a little overwhelming because a small breakfast place. They don't want to. They're not used to this type of pressure. But
they do have a limited menu too.
Right.
So if you want to do the double cheeseburger, it's a $4 deal. If you want to do a cheeseburger, $3, hamburger $2.50. In addition to what your free burger is. Fries, a couple of bucks, soda, $2, right? They've just got a limited menu. So, don't go in ordering that 4-egg omelet between 2 and 6. That's going to confuse things.
Yeah, you probably won't be able to get that if you order that there. So it'll be a little hard to get that. It'll take a while to come out for sure.
Did they suggest tipping the servers well? Because you're getting a free burger.
They did not suggest it, but I suggested.
Yeah, there you go.
You suggest. I suggest doing. They're very nice people. Shout out Sergio in the back. He's running the kitchen back there, so he's got all his helpers back there as well. So they're prepared. They're very prepared out there in Brookfield.
What a fun story to report on.
Definitely.
Yeah,
absolutely. Fun. I love that some of the folks were there in 2018 when the Brewers last did this. I would have been shocked if somebody still working there was back around in 1987 flipping burgers at the time that this went down for the first time.
There were some fans there I was talking to. There was these older guys. They were telling me like in 87, I believe it was, that they remember the first time. And I was just sitting there talking to them about it. They loved it. They weren't there for the event today, but they were like, oh, I remember the first time. It was very fun. Like, it was just it's a good little memory to have, especially right now that they almost had it, a month ago, 2 months ago. They had 10 game win streak and 11 game win streak, so they were preparing for this for a long time. But the fans are all now excited, whether they're going today or they're remembering in the past.
And with this team, it makes you wonder, could we do it again this season?
Who knows, right? And nothing is beyond this team at this point. Good stuff, Nazir. We appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Nazir.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
Nazir Spencer joining us. He was out at Webb's earlier today. Had a nice breakfast as he was waiting for folks to arrive. That'll be happening, no doubt, across all the Webb's locations here in Wisconsin. 12:23.
Hey, boaters! Cruise to Kendor Marine. We've got everything you need but the water. Got an old boat, a new boat in between. Kendor Marine. Upholstery and parts, hard to find things. Kendor Marine. Hey, boaters! Cruise to Kendor Marine. We've got everything you need but the water. Everything you need but the water. Hey, boaters! Cruise to Kendor Marine. We've got everything you need but the water. Like a boat-loving kid in a candy store. Kendor Marine. If you have a question, we have the expertise at Kendor Marine. Hey, boaters! Cruise to Kendor Marine. We've got everything you need but the water.
Easy to find at 57th and Ryan Road in Franklin or at KendorMarine.com.
So, Alex, why don't you tell us about Lion's Tail?
We've been brewing for 10 years, and now we're busy expanding into Milwaukee, trying to get on every shelf of every store and on tap at every restaurant.
How has Horicon Bank been a part of your story?
Horicon Bank understands the needs of small businesses versus working with a big bank. Horicon, they're much like a small business, just like we are. I know most of the people on that team. It's nice working with someone that understands your business.
Hey, John Mercure here for CertaPro Painters. They painted our house, the outside of the house, fantastic. They did the parts in the sun, the parts in the shade, the parts on the north side, the parts on the south side. They paid attention to detail the whole way. They went the extra mile all day long. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C for your home or your business. They do both. They pay a lot of attention. They took a lot of time with our house, and it looks absolutely perfect. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. They're the real deal. They're the best in the business. It's CertaPro Painters.
Health experts are shining a light on a condition that could leave people groggy, sluggish, and moody once they wake up. It's called sleep inertia, and it may have negative impacts on overall health. So how do you avoid the impacts of sleep inertia? ABC medical contributor Dr. Darian Sutton has a few tips.
Avoid hitting the snooze button. I know we all love that snooze button, but sometimes that can worsen that feeling of confusion. Also, once you wake up, exposing yourself to bright light and sound, although the studies are mixed, it can help if you experience it.
Not everybody loves the snooze button, but certainly there are quite a few people who do and wish they didn't. You don't hit the snooze button, right, Greg?
No, typically not. I try and give myself as much time to get ready as possible without compromising sleep. But I kind of feel like the feeling of grogginess or disorientation, maybe impaired cognitive function, is just part of the process of waking up. Like you don't just fly out of bed, right? Unless you're late for something, or you just kind of shut that valve off in your mind of being groggy. But it's just kind of what it is, right? You wake up and you're a little out of it, and then you take a shower and you're good to go.
But that's at the start. So they're saying with sleep inertia that grogginess, that sluggishness, that moodiness, that can kind of stay with you, and that's the problem. So, bottom line, try not to hit that snooze button. We've heard that before, right? But also make sure you're getting enough sleep.
For adults, 7 to 9 hours is typically what you're trying to aim for. And more importantly, for teens and young kids, 8 to 10 hours for teenagers and adolescents, and for children even younger, up to 12 hours of sleep.
That's so funny because all those days when I was getting up at like 1 in the morning and there were so many nights where I got 5 hours of sleep and that was just normal. So now if I get 7, I'm like, oh, even last night, I said, hey, Siri, how long until my alarm goes off? And it was like, 7 hours and 10 minutes. And I was like, yeah.
That was a win, huh?
Right? It's a win. But then you hear 7 to 9. And then I'm like, okay, maybe that wasn't such a win. But if you're one of those people who has a hard time turning off at night and getting as much sleep as you need, keep in mind what your body is doing while you sleep, because it's a lot.
Brain is building memories. Our brain is clearing toxins. Also, when you're sleeping, your body's repairing cells and muscles, regulating hormones, and even strengthening your immune system. And these are the reasons why a lack of sleep are associated with heart disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, and even dementia.
Like, sleep is good for you, but when you hear that the brain is building memories, the brain is clearing toxins, all that stuff, maybe that'll help you get to sleep a little bit earlier tonight.
How to manage sleep inertia. They talk about the number of hours of sleep. You mentioned 7 to 9 is great for adults. They also say creating a relaxing bedtime routine. Don't be on your screen before bed, that kind of stuff. I like this one. It says, consider caffeine. A moderate amount of caffeine after waking up can help improve alertness. I would agree with that. I'm just kind of surprised to see it in here. But they also say avoid sleeping too long. That oversleeping can actually worsen things.
Yeah.
You take that, you kind of stay in bed and you're kind of groggy and you get up maybe 2 or 3 hours later than you usually do. Sometimes that Sunday afternoon nap, which feels so good, can screw you up at night, right? So there's all sorts of things that factor into your routine. Your body loves a routine. You can get by in 6 hours of sleep and everything is A-okay. Hey, all good. Some people need more. Some people can operate on less.
There you go. Here's wishing for a good night's sleep tonight for everybody.
Good night, everybody. News is next on WTMJ.
That's it. We're done.
And now, about your house. Eric Brown is the president of Siding Unlimited, your contractor for new windows, roofing, siding, decks, and a whole lot more. He knows about your house. So what do you know, Eric?
Recently, Siding Unlimited installed new windows in a home, and the homeowner loved the experience. Linda W. said, I was extremely satisfied with the service that was provided by Siding Unlimited. I had a new roof and new windows installed in my house. Linda loved that she chose the right company for peace of mind. She also loved the colors. Larry, another Siding Unlimited customer, was thrilled with the experience. Larry's home looks brand new. Go to our Siding Unlimited Instagram page and see our pinned message to listen to Larry's testimonial, but also see his house. Again, Siding Unlimited, knocking it out of the park. Looking for new windows, siding, roofing, and doors? Visit the 5-time Pella Platinum Premier National Window Contractor of the Year winner at sidingunlimited.com. Definitely listen to Larry on Instagram at Siding Unlimited LLC.
Eric and his crews at Siding Unlimited are your go-to contractor here for roofing and also replacement windows, decks, and of course siding. They've done it all at the Matzek households over the years. It started with windows, transforming our 1953 Milwaukee home into something beautiful. And then, on our new house, brand new LP Smart Side siding. Built 8 years ago, our house still looks brand new. Make sure to connect with Eric about patio projects as well. They've expanded our outdoor living space to an area fit with a beautiful cedar pergola, paver patio, gas fire pit, and more. The best in lighting? I can control it from my phone. All there at Siding Unlimited. Truly siding and a whole lot more. Take the next step and check them out at sidingunlimited.com. Siding Unlimited. Truly siding and a whole lot more.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. A lot of moving parts as President Trump tries to broker a face-to-face between Ukraine and Russian leaders. ABC's Tom Sufi-Burridge says Russia continuing its barrage of airstrikes in Ukraine.
Ukraine is still pressing for the idea of a truce with Russia while the negotiations play out. And in terms of leverage, Zelensky making the point that, yes, things are difficult on the front lines, but the situation on the battlefield is not as bad as Putin would like to believe. And he's making also the point that, the Russian economy shows signs that it is also in trouble. And that gets you back to this central question. If this doesn't all work out, will President Trump bring back the threat of much harsher sanctions on Russia?
North Carolina's governor declaring a state of emergency as Hurricane Erin churns out in the Atlantic, and residents in the Outer Banks and coastal communities are urged to evacuate. Dangerous surf and rip currents are the threat along the East Coast. Extreme heat returning to western states with triple-digit temperatures in California. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Times, 12:31. Several southeastern Wisconsin mayors are re-exploring the idea of a passenger rail line between Milwaukee and Kenosha.
The Milwaukee Area Racine-Kenosha, or MARC, Passenger Rail Commission has been proposed by the mayors of the three cities, which, if ultimately approved, would examine a possible train line connecting downtown Milwaukee to the Wisconsin-Illinois line. The concept shares characteristics of previous passenger rail efforts in the region, including the development of a regional transit authority in 2009 that was dissolved just 2 years later. The new proposal involves no local funding obligations, nor causes any immediate fiscal impact on the three cities involved. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
8 volunteer fire departments across Wisconsin are getting a $10,000 grant to purchase equipment and gear. The money comes from State Farm's Good Neighbor Firefighter Safety Program. The Wisconsin departments receiving the grant money include Mayville and the village of Waterford. State Farm awarded more than $1 million to 150 volunteer fire departments across the country.
Well, it's move-in day at Marquette University. Senior Director of Housing and Residence Life, Mary Jans, tells WTMJ students and parents are coming from all across the country to get students into the dorms.
Today we'll have about 1,750 that'll move in, both first year and transfer students. By the end of the weekend, we'll have about 3,600 living in our residence halls with another 1,000 in our university-owned apartments.
Jan says students representing the class of 2028 come from more than 39 states, 2 U.S. territories, and 19 other countries.
The new pediatric trauma quality of life clinic at Children's Wisconsin focuses on treating kids with gunshot wounds.
We at Children's decided to start a community advisory board really to help inform and design this clinic. And that means that patients, children and youth who've been shot, and their parents helped guide this clinic's growth, this clinic's design, everything about the clinic. There were also community leaders, Milwaukee Public Schools, the Office of Violence Prevention, and more at that community advisory board. The idea being that we want the care we provide at Children's to be guided by the patients that are affected.
That's Dr. Katie Flynn O'Brien. Children's Wisconsin sees 2 to 3 kids with gunshot wounds every single day.
One of Milwaukee's most iconic landmarks continues to be lit up to raise awareness and community pride.
The Daniel Hone Memorial Bridge has been illuminated nightly for almost 5 years, helping raise the profile of hundreds of nonprofit organizations. Light the Hone Executive Director Erica Smith tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
The exposure that we can offer to a lot of these nonprofits that are small and sharing their story and their color through lights, anytime those lights change, they're for a reason. They're for a meaning.
You might have noticed Tuesday night, the bridge was lit up gold to support Milwaukee's Department of Public Works for their ongoing flood recovery efforts. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
counting down the hours and really the minutes now to free burgers thanks to the Brewers' 12-game winning streak. George Webb restaurant server Jessica Warner remembers the last giveaway.
Last time in 2018, I was just doing fries and onion rings, so I was stuck back there doing that, but I guess I'll be out front this time, and I think it's going to be a lot more crazy.
And Warner has some advice for people visiting the restaurants today.
Just be patient, and we'll get you your burger.
That free burger giveaway at George Webb locations runs from 2 to 6 at all 23 locations.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 12:34.
Get a clear picture of their eye health at Shopko Optical with back-to-school comprehensive eye exams. Vince Vetrano here for the experienced team at Shopko Optical, which can put your child at ease by encouraging them through the process and explaining their findings in a comfortable and relaxed environment. Feel confident that you're sending them back to class looking and feeling their best with personalized care and premium eyewear from Shopko Optical. Visit shopko.com to schedule an appointment today.
We got spirit, yes we do. We got spirit, how about you?
Hi, I'm Matt Dorner, CEO of Milwaukee Downtown Bid 21. Downtown Employee Appreciation Week is back August 18th through the 22nd with daily giveaways, office challenge games, and much more. It's all designed to boost your team's spirits. Learn how your company can participate at MilwaukeeDowntown.com.
Hey, it's Jeff Sherman, host of The Upswing. Working downtown doesn't just mean being at the center of business. It means you're a part of Milwaukee's heartbeat. There are so many perks, whether it's grabbing a quick bite, catching a show after work, or connecting with people who care and share the passion for the city. And Downtown Employee Appreciation Week, August 18th through 22nd, is when it all comes alive in a special way. If you want to discover more on how you can live, work, and play right here in the heart of it all, check out MilwaukeeDowntown.com.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. You've heard about Tri-County Contracting and their worry-free roof tune-up. You've heard about their instant roof quote. But don't forget, Tri-County Contracting also handles windows. Our project at my home moving right along right now, and the process has been so easy and thorough. It's nice when you can trust the team you're working with and know that they are looking out for you. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com. It's worry-free roofing, siding, and also windows. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com.
Accunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 255368.
At Wisconsin's own Accunet Mortgage, our closing costs are typically $1,000 to $3,000 less than the banks or the mortgage guys with the Rocket for exactly the same rate. Find out how much you can save at ACCUNET.com.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. The Brewers begin the day with a 7-game lead over the Cubs for first place, despite dropping both games of Tuesday's doubleheader in Chicago. Starter Brandon Woodruff with a little perspective.
We're not affected by losing 2 games in a row. It's baseball. We'll come back. We'll be ready to go the next 2 and see how they play out. But coming off 14 wins in a row, you feel like you can't lose another one. Then when you lose 2 in a row, it feels like the world's falling apart, but it's really not. So we're doing just fine.
Jacob Mizorowski takes the ball tonight. Coverage begins following the 6 o'clock news on WTMJ. And the Packers welcome in the Seahawks for a joint practice on Thursday. The teams will wrap up the preseason Saturday afternoon at Lambeau. The Bucs signed free agent forward Amir Coffey, who played and scored 10 points on average and 2 rebounds per game with the Clippers last season.
Let's get you an update on the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. We do have a new broken down vehicle out on the system, this one in Milwaukee. I-43 North at 4394 North, right shoulder is blocked due to a car that's broken down. That one happened about 10 minutes ago. Also still dealing with this one up in Ozaukee County. I-43 North, right around the ramp from Wisconsin 32 South, Grafton Avenue. Right shoulder is blocked there because of a car that's broken down, and I am seeing a little bit of a delay due to that one.
Overall, pretty nice day today. High of 74 degrees, partly cloudy, a little breezy, maybe just a spotty sprinkle. The radar looks pretty good right now. Mostly clear tonight, a low of 65. The sun is back Thursday, Friday, and Saturday with temperatures in the mid to upper 70s, maybe touching 80 degrees on Friday. 70 degrees and mostly cloudy in Milwaukee, approaching 1239.
You're gonna see, I'm gonna run, I'm gonna try, I'm gonna take this love right to you. All my heart, all the joy, oh baby, baby, please. Hurry, hurry.
Time to check in with our favorite CBS correspondent, is our congressional correspondent. He is Scott McFarland for the nation's capital. Hey, Scott.
Good afternoon. I think I should thank you for playing Paula Abdul music to open our segment. I think I should.
We're always in a rush to get to you. Maybe that's what she was thinking when she picked this one.
There it is.
This was a good cut back in the day. I liked this one. Makes you feel something.
It's relaxing. I've got a time-sensitive question for you, Greg, because it's that time of year where we start asking questions about specific players on specific teams.
Sure.
What's the upside for Tucker Kraft? What do we think is going to happen with him this year? How important is he to the entire operation?
This sounds like a congressional correspondent who might have a fantasy football draft coming up in the next week or so.
There it is.
So the deal with Tucker Kraft is that he's got tremendous touchdown upside, right? Last year he caught, 50 balls or so, but he was always in the end zone. There's another tight end named Luke Musgrave who they thought would be sort of sharing time last year. Then Musgrave got injured, but now he's back to being healthy. So some people think that could sort of diminish Kraft, but Kraft is the clear number one at this point because he's proven it. So good chemistry, a lot of younger receivers on the roster. You're not really sure how that's going to pan out. I still think he's a good sort of mid-grade tight end to have as your weekly starter.
Thank you for that. See, I take advantage of my experts in the field, and you're my designated expert.
Well, you got to find beat writers in every town, right? They really know what's going on. That's the important stuff here. Is there like a congressional correspondent or CBS or whatever, cross network with ABC, any kind of fantasy league? Like, how does this put together?
Oh, there's many. And I think you also recognize that in 2025, in this moment of political toxicity and venom, it's really nice to have an off-ramp and something else to talk about. I think it's never been more important to spend time looking at the depth chart on the Packers. I mean, genuinely, I mean that, Greg. It's just a good way of diverting your attention when all this stuff's so tough day after day.
It is so true. But you know what else we have to talk about here in southeastern Wisconsin, really across Wisconsin today? Free burgers, Scott. We get free burgers today from George Webb locations because the Brewers made 12 in a row, 12 wins in a row. It's this really cool promotion that they've had, and it's only happened two other times before this, but today from 2 to 6, people in our area get free burgers because the Brewers are hot.
As if there wasn't enough reason to celebrate already.
Right?
It's I think what the Journal Sentinel says it's free burger o'clock. Just come on by and the burgers are there.
Almost 2 o'clock.
Oh, that is a good way to put it. So, yes, free burgers, Brewers are playing well, Packers training camp rolls on. Unfortunately, you're not covering any of that today. It sounds like a lot of fun. What are you covering today?
A couple different things. First of all, we do have the National Guard arriving by the hundreds still in Washington, D.C., into the community, onto the streets, publicly seen. By the end of this week, we expect the total number to get to about 2,000 National Guard troops. You start off with 800 or so that were called up by the president from the Washington, D.C. National Guard, a unit that he has direct control over. And we have 6 Republican governors who have decided to contribute their own Guard members towards this mission in Washington, D.C., West Virginia, South Carolina, Ohio, Tennessee, Louisiana, Mississippi. It's an awful lot of military inside a U.S. community on U.S. soil, and it's far from clear where they are all needed because as of now, they don't have arrest power. They're not carrying firearms. They're there to support local police. So 2,000 Guard members, that's nearly the size of the police department in Washington, D.C., and this is really touching a nerve with some people who live here who don't mind the extra law enforcement, who don't understand the militarization of an American community.
So, Scott, I'm curious, have you seen these troops? Because I was listening to one reporter who works in Washington, and she said she lives in the area as well. And she said, I have yet to actually see any of these people. Yeah. So I'm curious about your story and where they actually are. Are they sticking to tourist areas or where are they?
They're actually in the places you can picture in your mind's eye. They're near the National Mall, by the monuments, by the landmarks, the things you go visit when you make a trip to Washington, D.C. as a high schooler or as a grown-up. They're by the train station, the big transit system in Washington, D.C., where people come in and out of the community from out of state. But they're not in the neighborhoods. And when I say neighborhoods, I mean, in some cases, the neighborhoods that have battled crime issues, the parts of town where they've been asking for, if not demanding, more police presence. The National Guard's not there. Those are more difficult areas to police. Those are more difficult areas to make inroads with the local community, and we don't see them there, and that's causing concern that if we're going to put the troops in here, let's have them get after something. Let's have them in a spot where maybe they can be more of a threat deterrent. Right now, they're in places where there's already enormous police presence. The landmarks have U.S. Park Police. They have D.C. police. They have their own security in some cases. The train station's got Amtrak police, Capitol police, D.C. police. There's already a big law enforcement presence in the places the Guard has posted up. And I think this could change if the White House decides to have the Guard units start carrying guns and start making arrests.
So I wonder at this point, like, what would make them say mission accomplished?
Yeah, that's a great question. One we've been asking rhetorically and literally of some of these office holders, because there's no milepost here. What's the finish line? The only thing we know, Jess, is that there's a 30-day clock running on the federalization of the D.C. Police Department. That after 30 days, the president has to surrender control back to the District of Columbia unless Congress were to approve an extension. Let me tell you right now, Congress isn't doing that. Tucker Kraft's going to have 100 touchdowns before Congress extends the window for this D.C. police takeover, because the Democrats would have to get on board. But the National Guard doesn't have quite the same time limits. And that could be a new normal here in Washington, D.C., where the National Guard is regularly deployed on subway posts, near transit areas, near landmarks. There's no egg timer on that. And so long as Republican governors seek to be part of this mission and help the president out, there are the bodies to do it.
CBS congressional correspondent Scott McFarland joining us from the nation's capital. So, the Trump-Putin summit ended without a ceasefire deal. 2 days later, Trump and Zelensky meet along with other European leaders. So what is the ultimate goal here, Scott? Is the ultimate goal a ceasefire deal or more of a peace agreement?
Yeah, I think the immediate goal is another meeting, is to get Zelensky and Putin together, even just by themselves to meet. I think that's the short-term aim, and the U.S. is trying to play a role in brokering that. Then the next step, it was initially a ceasefire. That's what Zelensky wants, is a ceasefire so we can actually have some negotiations. Putin has indicated otherwise, that the peace agreement will lead to a ceasefire. So we already got quite a wedge issue. These two have to work out. And the United States seems to have vacillated between the two priorities. And that's where the lack of clarity, I think, is either a strategy by the White House or a problem for the White House if they're going to broker a deal.
So we're hearing a lot about that summit and everything that came out of it, and we'll have to wait and see what's next. Something else that's popped up in recent days is President Trump and his feelings on the Smithsonian. And this is really interesting because this is very different than years ago. During his first time in office, he praised the Smithsonian. But what's going on right now, and what does President Trump want done?
This is a political Rorschach test. This is one of those ink blot tests where you'll see what you want to see in this picture. And I think this goes right along tribal lines. The president has said that he wants to be more aggressive about controlling and changing what is shown in the Smithsonian Historical Museums and areas in Washington, D.C. He says the Smithsonian, in his words, discusses how horrible the country is, quote, how bad slavery was and how unaccomplished the downtrodden have been. He says there's not enough success or brightness or aspiration for the future at the Smithsonian. The Smithsonian's curators haven't spoken to this. The Smithsonian hasn't counterpunched or responded to this argument from the president, but his opponents sure have, saying, let's not try to rewrite history. Let's not erase the blemishes of American history. And certainly it caught people's attention when the president said there's too much focus on how bad slavery was. I mean, you are baiting the hook for people to criticize you if you use that phrase. And this, I think, is not moving anybody from one side to the other. But this president seems to be inclined on doing what he did with universities, which is get involved with what they teach and what they show America. This is all uncharted waters.
Is it going to be an exhibit change? Are they going to change the tenor of how this museum is curated? Like, what's the ultimate goal?
That seems to be the president's aspiration. How easily he can execute that is a different question, Greg, but I think that seems to be explicitly and declaratively what he wants to do.
Scott, something that we saw this morning, and I was like, ooh, this is interesting on a couple of levels. The White House now has a TikTok account. This is brand new. We're going to be giving everybody the details in just a few minutes here, but I wanted to ask you about this too, because the thing that I thought was interesting about this is, I mean, TikTok is kind of up in the air right now. The fate of it in our country is still up in the air. And now, all of a sudden, last night, the White House comes out with a new TikTok account. And think about how many users we have in the U.S. I would not have been surprised if the White House started a TikTok account on day one of Trump's second go-around here, but they didn't. And so it's kind of like, why now? Have you seen the TikTok account yet?
It's something they're launching, but they're certainly not the first political office or governmental office to have a TikTok account. And President Biden and Vice President Harris were using TikTok as part of their campaigns last year. Everybody's involved with this. But this is just a weird one because the Congress overwhelmingly, including local lawmakers, signed on to a bill that passed the Congress to ban TikTok if they weren't sold. They haven't been sold, yet TikTok is not banned as it was scheduled to be banned January 19th, 2025. The president has tried to pause the clock or hit the snooze button on this ban, and somehow he's managed to do so, even though the law requires it to be shuttered in America. Now he's opening a TikTok account, which indicates he's not keen on shutting it down anytime soon. This is a more fundamental issue than just TikTok itself, but Congress passes a law and a president signs it. How does that law not take effect in America in 2025? That, I think, is the source of the criticism.
CBS congressional correspondent Scott McFarland. All right, homework assignment for you, Scott. When we come back next week or the week after your draft, I want to know your team name, and I want to know the pick you're most proud of. But to reiterate, if you don't get one of the top three tight ends, just hold off. Be patient because that middle, that creamy middle, if you will, there's not a lot of difference between tight end number 4 and number 10.
I'm going to name the team Free Burgers. I'm just going to tell you right now.
Okay.
It's Free Burgers Wednesday. That's the new name. You've all inspired me.
I like the ring of it. CBS congressional correspondent Scott McFarland. We always appreciate it, Scott. Thank you.
Thanks, Scott.
Thank you both.
You bet. 12:51 on WTMJ. Well, it's not fall yet, but the lineup is out. We'll explain after this.
Dr. Aaron Holtebeck and his team at Holtebeck Eye Center make vision care a top priority. They are your premium provider for eye care and corrective eye surgeries. Dr. Holtebeck has been helping local patients with their eye care needs for over 20 years. Dr. Nausheen Abbas joined the Holtebeck Eye Center team last September, and her practice philosophy is to provide patient-centered medicine by giving all options. Located in Brookfield near the corner of Calhoun and Capitol. Learn more about their services at holtebeck.com.
Hey, the Hounds in Tap in Menominee Falls, they're launching a fantasy football league. In fact, they got a cornhole league starting in the fall. So if you're a dog owner or even not a dog owner, you just want to hang out and have some fun with some great people and enjoy some great food, maybe watch a game with dogs, without dogs, you name it. Connect with the Hounds in Tap for a number of reasons. They are the go-to place for you to hang out in that indoor-outdoor tavern while watching a game, grab it a nice cold drink, maybe some food from a food truck, or to drop your dog off for daycare or boarding services. Maybe your dog needs a nail trim. Well, they got a groomer on site that'll help work with you and your schedule. It's the Hounds and Tap. Wonderful people. Leah and Armand do an incredible job at this 12,000 square foot facility. There's really nothing like it. Our dog Knight loves it there. And in fact, we're going to be boarding him there in about a week's time. That's right. We got some plans for Labor Day. And well, Knight, he's going to have a great night stay at the Hounds and Tap. We trust the folks there. We know Knight's going to have a wonderful time. Expert staff makes you feel comfortable and confident in letting your dog hang out for the night or for the day. It's the Hounds and Tap. Visit their Facebook page. Also check them out online at thehoundsandtap.com.
Looking for an e-bike? Shop Wheel and Sprocket and find rows and rows of bikes in a bunch of different styles and colors for you to see, touch, feel, and even test ride.
Visit wheelandsprocket.com for a location near you.
Life is short. Enjoy your ride.
Find it at the showroom, take it home to make sure it's right. Vince Vitrano for Hunt's Flooring in Greenfield. Not some chain or corporate showroom. Hunt's is a family-run business specializing in beautiful, durable flooring from luxury vinyl to cozy carpet and timeless hardwoods. Find a great deal, take the samples home, and take your time. No high-pressure sales. The Hunt's team is patient, helpful, and ready to go when you're ready with your project. Visit Hunt's Flooring on Highway 100 or get started now at huntsflooring.com.
From the biggest stars to the greatest moments, Behind the Bucks is Bucks history like you've never heard it before. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
When people think sleep apnea, they think CPAP.
Now at Advent, we do all we can to help sleep apnea sufferers avoid the CPAP machine. And most sleep apnea sufferers who come to Advent are going to be able to avoid a CPAP altogether. Our unique Advent approach using simple in-office solutions can get your nose working and throat open all under one roof. You see, the root of every snoring and obstructive sleep apnea problem lies within the throat, nose, or both. At Advent, we know when we get the nose and throat working properly, most snoring and sleep apnea problems will subside. And we have the most simple and convenient, ultra-effective in-office solutions that can do just that. And this is why people have traveled by planes, trains, and automobiles from corners of the world you would never think of to find the sleep apnea and snoring relief you won't find elsewhere.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Most insurance accepted.
All right, so I'm pretty sure I had a different topic in our lineup and rundown here. So I got a rundown in our hand.
Yes.
12:53. I'm almost certain I had something else there, and then I go away. I have lunch or whatever, a little quick meeting, and I come back, and it says Dunkin' launches fall menu. I did not put that there. I don't know how that got there.
Gina.
That was not my idea, but it has inspired, I'm guessing, our producer Gina to incorporate it into today's show, because Dunkin' is launching full force into the fall lineup, and that means pumpkin spice season is officially here, whether you think it should be or not.
I'm already seeing reviews. I saw something on TikTok when I was looking at the new White House account. There was some guy wearing a cowboy hat. He was in his car, and I feel like he had every little thing you can get off the fall menu in his lap. He was showing it to you. He was giving some reviews. And I do know the new cereal milk latte. He gave it an 8, in case you're wondering.
That is kind of interesting. So they're trying to mimic the bottom of the cereal bowl flavor that you have after your, I don't know, Cinnamon Toast Crunch is, it's gone, but the milk is still there. I'm thinking that's what they're trying to do here.
This particular guy said it was like heavy on the toasted marshmallow vibe, so it kind of reminded him of Lucky Charms.
Okay.
So, yeah, I see where you're going.
Well, you got your maple sugar bacon sandwich. You've got an iced pumpkin loaf along with the pumpkin spice signature latte. I don't think you want to be first in this space. Like Starbucks isn't coming out with this until when? Late August usually?
The 26th, which is right around the corner. I mean, that's next week. That's Tuesday. That's just days away.
There is a needle to thread here, I think. I think there could be more damage if you launch this kind of stuff too early. And I think Dunkin' is launched a little too early here. But we shall see.
But think about our good friend over at TMJ4, meteorologist Brendan Johnson. He's all about the pumpkin spice, and I guarantee if we call him up right now, he says, Greg, this is not too early.
All right, I'm going to call him during the break. The news is coming up. I will call Brendan, and we'll see what he says. 12:57.
Christopher Mancuso here from Accurate Basement Repair. We know this is an incredibly difficult time for our community, and our hearts go out to everyone affected by the recent record flooding. Our team here at Accurate Basement Repair truly appreciate your patience as we try to respond to the overwhelming number of requests. We want to help all of our valued listeners, so please visit our website at accuratebasementrepair.com. That's accuratebasementrepair.com, and fill out your inspection request. Remember, you're not alone. Accurate Basement Repair is here to help. Thank you again for your patience.
Hey, you are running out of time, but there's still plenty of time to play this month of August at Potawatomi. Greg Matzek here. Want to tell you about the Cash Carnival. It's going on right now at Potawatomi Hotel Casino. Play with your rewards card the rest of the month and earn entries to win your share of $300,000 in cash and prizes. Pretty amazing stuff. Prize drawings happen every Thursday through August 28th. So another week and a day or so. Your fortune awaits. Only at Potawatomi. More information available at Potawatomi.com. Got to be 21 years or older to play and a member of the rewards program. Also, hope to see you at the Sportsbook during football season at Potawatomi.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
As the kiddos get ready to get back to school, you can find really great back-to-school savings at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. School supplies and some surprisingly cool clothing too. And teachers, you get an additional discount. Get the best back-to-school bargains at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
I'm WTMJ's Sandy Max. What makes senior living at Three Pillars so special? Let's hear from my friend Pam.
Good friends of ours moved there, and they had invited us over for dinner a number of times. And they said, we waited way too long. You should come when you're younger. They had no idea it was going to be this great. There are just so many things to do, and it keeps you young. I mean, we have a lot of residents who are pushing 100. I believe they're there and still alive because of Three Pillars.
Schedule a tour today at threepillars.org.
John Mercure here for CertaPro Painters. They painted the outside of our house. It was fantastic. I've got a big deck. They really had to navigate on 2 levels. The guys took their time. They paid attention to detail. They did it right around the deck. My whole house looks fantastic. Trim and siding. It's great. It's CertaPro Painters. Schedule fills up fast, so now's the time to plan your project. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C for your home or business. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. They are the best. They're CertaPro Painters.
Hi, this is Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas. And you know, I'm a consumer just like you. And my ears perk up for pain relief messages just like you. But some of these ads...
Since I started taking this natural supplement, within weeks, my pain is completely gone.
I mean, come on. Give me a break. The truth is, there are imbalances in your body causing your pain. And there's physical therapy, which we are highly skilled at, that can improve imbalances. And there are alternative pain solutions. But not all of them are proven, safe, effective, or affordable. At Rejuvenex, the effectiveness of Toradol joined with hyaluronic acid has been proven. Our treatments are affordable, FDA approved, safe, and they're powerful medicines. They calm inflammation and cushion joints, and they can make your pain go away.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain. Rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
This division race might already be over.
Breaking ball. Hit high. Hit deep. Left center. Bye-bye baseball.
The Brewers take on the Cubs in Chicago. This series is sponsored by IKEA Oak Creek. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6:30 on the home of the Brewers. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 101. I'm Greg Matzek. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Wednesday, August 20th. Your top story, when FEMA agents will be on the ground.
I'm Jessica Tighe. The prep it took to carry out today's big burger giveaway.
Partly cloudy and breezy today, a spotty sprinkle, according to the forecast. A high of 74. Clear tonight, a low of 65. Tomorrow, the sun returns with a high of 78 degrees. 71 and partly sunny in Milwaukee at 102. From the WTMJ breaking newsroom, up to 60 Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA workers, will be in Milwaukee County Thursday to assess damage from flooding earlier this month. Milwaukee County Emergency Management Director Cassandra Liebel says FEMA agents will not be visiting every community impacted by the floods.
They're taking the preliminary information that we've provided and they're going to make spot checks to just verify the information that we have submitted meets their criteria and then seeing if we meet the threshold for damage control.
In Milwaukee County, preliminary damage estimates nearly $34 million worth of damage.
The Texas House of Representatives has started the debate over a new congressional map that would potentially create 5 new Republican seats. The plan here is expected to pass the chamber in a growing national redistricting battle. CBS's Finn Gomez.
The Republican-controlled Texas State House is on track to pass these new congressional maps as quickly as today, potentially securing those 5 additional Republican seats ahead of the midterm elections, which is really what this is all about. Once the maps are passed, legal challenges from Democrats and allies are expected to be filed. Lawyers and advocacy groups are preparing lawsuits and gearing up for a litigious fight.
Democratic state lawmakers in Texas delayed the vote by leaving the state, but enough returned this week for the body to reconvene. The GOP House Speaker assigned round-the-clock police monitors for the Democrats to keep them from leaving again.
Matching the DNA to the deaths of 3 children in Washington state. The Chelan County Sheriff's Office confirms that DNA found on plastic bags and other materials at the Rock Island campground is connected to missing Pewaukee native Travis Decker. Decker, the sole suspect in the suffocation of deaths of 3 of his youngest children. Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia Decker. He remains on the run, is considered to be armed and dangerous. Police say they are not sure whether Decker is dead or alive.
It has been 7 years in the making, and right now we are less than an hour away from the big burger giveaway.
It's quiet this morning at the Brookfield George Webb, but workers say that calm won't last long.
We got all the condiments ready, burger bags. We're setting up our station where we're going to warm the burgers, and 1 o'clock we're going to start rolling.
More than 2,300 burgers have already been prepared at this location alone. George Webb Vice President Ryan Stam says the community response always makes the extra effort worthwhile.
We're excited for the team, we're excited for the city, we're excited to give these burgers away to the fans. We had a ton of good energy, and our staff is excited to do it, and we're ready to go.
In Brookfield, Nazir Spencer, WTMJ News.
Meanwhile, Gabriel Hammer got in line about 40 minutes ago at the location on MLK Drive, right here in downtown Milwaukee. He wasn't going to have a repeat of what happened in 2018, telling WTMJ.
I showed up, and there was a line like about a block and a half long. I got in line, and I waited for maybe about 30 minutes or so, and I'm looking at my watch. I'm like, man, I got to get to work. So I took off. I never got the burger. So this year I made sure I got here in time so I could get one.
In a related story, Jessica called the MLK Drive George Webb about 45 minutes ago, and they said, we've got one person in line. I'm guessing it was this guy.
Yes, Gabriel. I'm so glad we got to hear from him. That's great.
Well, the giveaway officially begins at 2 o'clock this afternoon. Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. All sorts of red today, with the Dow off about 55 points at 44,866. NASDAQ is off about 250. Another rough day for the NASDAQ here, sitting at 21,082. S&P 500 off about 35 at 63.77. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
It's the Miz on the mound tonight. Can we get a W this time? Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 1:06.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Inspired Closets, something that can positively affect your mood, getting organized and clearing out the clutter. A well-rounded closet could be the most powerful room in your home. Inspired Closets can transform your closets or laundry room, your pantry, any space in your house. What separates Inspired Closets from the others? Their 3D design software and a culture that promises to build what you want and need. Call my friends Katie and Dan today, a wife-husband team ready to help. Inspired days start in Inspired Closets. InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
You should be listening to Wisconsin's Midday News with Greg Matzek and Jessica Tighe each weekday.
Fascinatingly, a growing number of people are resorting to hocus pocus to get what they want. Okay, you doing this? Would you do $3?
No.
How about 300?
I think it's odd, but apparently a lot of people don't.
But if you missed us, catch up anytime with our Wisconsin's Midday News podcast. Powered by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more.
So subscribe, take us with you wherever you go.
Hey, boaters!
Well, if you have an old boat, new boat, or in between, then Kendor Marine is a great place for you to shop. Because not only do we have all the parts and accessories you need for almost any kind of boat, we also have the expert advice that just about any boater is one day gonna need. I'm Dave Doro, and boaters in the know exactly where to go. Kendor Marine, 57th and Ryan Road in Franklin.
Hey, boaters! Cruise to Kendor Marine. We got everything you need but the water.
KendorMarine.com. At Kendor Marine, we have everything you need but the water. For over 50 years, boaters have found that to be true. Because when they've needed that old part they thought they'd never find, guess what? They found it here, along with everything else you need to keep your boat out there on the water. This is Dave Doro, and boaters in the know exactly where to go. Kendor Marine, 57th and Ryan Road in Franklin.
Hey, boaters! Cruise to Kendor Marine. We got everything you need but the water.
KendorMarine.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. After dropping both games of a doubleheader on Tuesday, Brewers and Cubs back at it here tonight in Game 4 of their 5-game series. Jacob Misiorowski on the mound for the Brewers, who begin the day with a 7-game lead over the Cubs for first place in the division. Coverage begins following the 6 o'clock news on WTMJ. Packers welcome in the Seahawks for a joint practice on Thursday. Jordan Love remains limited at practice. Malik Willis continues to take first-team reps.
I think it's been awesome, just continuing to learn and grow and continue to get reps with guys that I don't usually get the opportunity to get reps with. Just continue to, see what Matt likes, and he can see what I like, and we can continue to just grow together.
Teams will wrap up the preseason Saturday afternoon at Lambeau Field. And the Bucks signed free agent forward Amir Coffey. He averaged about 10 points and 2 rebounds a game with the Clippers last season.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. It's really a pretty nice commute for the most part. No crashes to tell you about, just a couple of disabled vehicles. This one in Ozaukee County is kind of sticking around. I-43 north, a little bit beyond the ramp from Wisconsin 32 south, Grafton Avenue. Right shoulder is blocked because of a car that's broken down there. And I do see a little bit of slowing, but it's not much. We'll keep you posted in case something changes.
Partly cloudy, breezy today, a high of 74. Just a slight chance of a spotty sprinkle. Nothing heavy, nothing to worry about here from a thunder and lightning standpoint. Mostly clear tonight at a low of 65. Most of us stay dry throughout the day. Thursday, mostly sunny, a high of 76. Friday, mostly sunny, high of 80 degrees. Saturday, mostly sunny and a high of 78. 71 degrees and partly sunny in Milwaukee, approaching 110.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzek and Jessica Tighe.
Brewers and Cubs again tonight. We're going to check in with Dom Cotroneo, who is covering the series at Wrigley. Looks like a great weather night here. Not a great day for the crew yesterday, dropping both games, but still a 7-game lead here with a little over a month to play in the season. That's a pretty good spot to be overall.
You think Dom got his burger voucher because he knew he was going to be down in Chicago today?
Very good question. Adam McAlvey didn't. He told us that yesterday, so he said he's going to support the mission when he comes back and, buy a burger on his own. Adam does good things for good people. We'll check in. We'll check in with Dom coming up in about 5 minutes.
And now it's time for 3 Big Things on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number 1, the White House now has a TikTok account. This is brand new. It was started last night using the @WhiteHouse handle. TikTok has 170 million active users in the U.S. A lot of people are on it. The first video from the White House features President Trump with the caption, "America, we are back." What's up, TikTok? Listen to the narration.
Every day, I wake up determined to deliver a better life for the people all across this nation. I am your voice.
I am your voice, President Trump says. This is an interesting move because the fate of TikTok in our country is still up in the air. CBS correspondent Jesse Mitchell has that part of the story.
The move comes less than a month before President Trump's latest extension for the social media app to find a new owner or face a U.S. ban expires. The same day the White House account went online, Minnesota announced it is suing TikTok, accusing it of preying on young people using deceptive and manipulative practices. A TikTok spokesperson says the lawsuit is based on misleading and inaccurate claims.
The new White House TikTok account has already posted 5 videos, and it now has more than 152,000 followers, and that's going to skyrocket. In fact, I have changed the number 4 times since initially writing this story. That's how quickly the numbers are going up, because most people, you think about it, they're just hearing about this TikTok account for the first time right now, but there is a massive following on TikTok, and the White House decided they need to be on it.
Well, number 2, the state of Wisconsin is freeing up about $16.5 million for MPS. The state have withheld $42 million from the district due to late financial reporting. MPS has yet to complete all of its long overdue financial reports from the 2023-24 school year, but they did complete certain reports required for the release of this money. Again, it's about $16.5 million. It's all part of the plan to get things back in order under new Superintendent Brenda Casilius. Prior to her arrival, the district struggled to comply with the state's corrective action plan. They're working on it. Remember, they talked about the accounting systems not jiving with the states, and then that was kind of a hiccup in the proceedings and getting things more expeditious. But they're on the path here to getting everything needed to the state.
Yeah, it was a mess. Number 3, weight loss drugs for your pets. They could be on the way soon. CBS's Stacey Lynn reports.
Charlie a little chunky, Rover looking robust. It's not just humans who are dealing with some extra pounds. And now the same type of weight loss drugs that are helping many people drop the lbs could soon be used for your fat furry friends as well. Pharmaceutical companies are tapping the same science behind drugs like Ozempic and Wegovy to develop similar treatments for pets. One biotech firm, Okava, says it expects to roll out its version by the end of the decade, which could help give your plump pooch a longer life. Stacey Lynn, CBS News.
Or you just cut down on the begging strips.
What are we doing here? Why are we doing this, right? Could you imagine doing this for your dog or to your dog might be the better way to put it?
I mean, I never had, Bax never really had a weight issue, and we always loved to walk him and take him out, and he was, fairly active for a Cocker Spaniel. But the thing is, I imagine just like people, there are some pets who, despite the walks and cutting down on the begging strips, just... can't get to where they need to be.
Metabolism for the dog kind of fades off over time, right? Right, so then you do what people want to do. Well, I'll just do a shot. That'll help everything.
We know Knight is tight and definitely like...
Athletic specimen, yes. Yeah. Interesting. 1:14 on WTMJ. Dom Catronio is in Chicago covering the Brewers and Cubs series. Looking forward to checking in with him. Did he get his burger voucher? We'll ask after this.
We see you out there, building a life you love, knowing that when inspiration strikes, nothing should get in your way. At Blaine's, we're here to help with everything you need to make it happen at prices that make it possible. Like 10% off Hillman Hardware. Centric brake parts, rotors, shoes, and drums, also 10% off. And save 15% on assorted Crawford garage storage hooks. Plus, we offer Blaine's best price promise, guaranteeing the lowest price with us or we'll match it. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
I know you have a great dog, right? But you know there's room for improvement. At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we can help. Our attention-based training system uses modern technology to help you better communicate with your dog, even in high distraction. When you schedule a free consultation with us, you will have the opportunity to see our training in action and meet for yourself our happy dogs off leash and under control. Contact Sit Means Sit today at 262-361-3641 or find us on the web at sitmeansitwaukesha.com to schedule your free consultation so you can have a happy, confident, and obedient dog.
From the biggest stars to the greatest moments. Behind the Bucks is Bucks history like you've never heard it before. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
I'm Pat Dunphy of Cannon and Dunphy. Every team's goals at the start of the Major League Baseball season are to get to the World Series. But only the best teams achieve those goals. They do it with a combination of talent, experience, and a dedication to winning. Like a Major League Baseball team, Cannon and Dunphy's law firm has its goals. That's to win for its clients. And we've been doing it for 40 years with a combination of talent, experience, and a dedication to winning. So if you're hurt in an accident and you need help, call Cannon and Dunphy.
74 degrees your high today. Just a slight chance for a spotty sprinkle. Most of us stay dry. Overnight low 65. Should be a beautiful day tomorrow with the sun back in full force. A high of 76, high of 80 on Friday. Just a slight chance for overnight rain on Friday into Saturday. It's 71 degrees, mostly cloudy in Milwaukee at 117. Brewers Extra Innings host Dom Catronio has been at Wrigley Field for several hours here, right? Doubleheader yesterday, the thought of a doubleheader on Monday when the series kicked off. You got a night game today, day game tomorrow, a long 5-game series against the Cubs here. And, of course, the Brewers are battling with the Cubs for first place in the division. Kind of a commanding lead here at 7 games, even after losing both games of a doubleheader yesterday. Dom joins us from near Wrigley Field. Dom, how are things?
Dum da dum dum dum.
You might be waiting in line for his pumpkin spice latte at Dunkin' Donuts. We'll get Dom connected here in a moment. But, he's been covering the Brewers as part of this series because it was earmarked as such a major pivot point, potentially, in this season-long battle with the Cubs and the Brewers' quest to win the division. Yesterday was kind of weird. So they lose a couple of games, and because it's the Cubs, you start to get...
Dom, can you hear me at all?
Where it's like, you've kind of let the team that you were trying to squash sort of back.
I cannot hear you. I see you, but I cannot hear you. Gina's calling you.
That second game, I mean, you think one, okay, that one was pretty close. Well, we scored 4, Cubs had 6, but then the second game, we got 1, and the Cubs got 4.
Yeah, missed opportunities, kind of the story of yesterday, unfortunately, for the Brewers. We now connect with Dom Cotroneo, Brewers Extra Innings host. First and foremost, Dom, did you get a burger voucher, or have you not had a chance for that?
No, I was bummed. I didn't get a chance because, Brewers were playing in Cincy. Now we're down here. Obviously, it's Burger Day, and, no George Webb's down here, and they're not exactly happy about that winning streak either down here. But it's been funny. I would have loved it for a collector's item, but unfortunately, I did not get my voucher.
That's the thing. I think there are some people, and I'm among them, where the burger would be great, but honestly, it's like the voucher. It's having that voucher. Either some people are going to frame it. Some Brewers fans are going to frame it, or even just putting it in a scrapbook. I think that would be cool, just to even have the voucher, to be able to say to your kids or your grandkids, back in the day in 2025, the Brewers won 12 in a row, and George Webb gave free burgers. Isn't that part of the fun?
Yeah, it's all the fun. I mean, just to see the ones from 1987 pop back up on social media, I think is so cool because, we talk about 87 so much. We talk about Dan Dios. We talk about Dale Swaim. Now, all of a sudden, in 15, 20 years, we're going to be talking about Andrew Vaughn and Andrew Monasterio. It's just like, it's the same, everything is, cyclical and everything comes back. History repeats itself. And what a ride it was.
It's been amazing listening to the crowd, Dom, because it has sort of a playoff atmosphere at Wrigley Field. Even game 1 of the doubleheader yesterday, I mean, there are plenty of seats available, but it really struck me that the noise that came through, if you were watching on TV or listening on WTMJ, it sounded like everything was, hotly contested. Everything was being cheered or jeered back and forth. It's kind of what you want and would hope for two good quality teams here toward the end of August.
Exactly. And I think with the way that the Brewers fans are obviously feeling empowered right now with the way that their team is playing and the number 1 record in baseball, a little more excitement to come back down here into the north side. And there's always Brewers fans in Chicagoland. We know that. And they're coming out in full force, and they're wearing their Cheerio jerseys and their Yelich jerseys, and we're hearing Let's Go Brewers chants. And, it's just a fun environment because I think that at the end of the day, it's becoming clearer and clearer with the landscape of the rest of the National League, because no one really can figure out what the Dodgers are doing. But it's very clear that the Brewers and Cubs are easily top 3 teams in the National League. Like, they should be considered favorites for winning the pennant, and they're great head-to-head. Like, the run differential head-to-head is only separated by, 6 runs right now. The Cubs have the current edge by 1 game in the season series, 6-5, but it's just like these two teams have played each other so evenly and so quality, and how much it's flipped back and forth all year. It's just really fun to get playoff quality baseball in August.
So, Dom, I know there's absolutely no reason to panic, but we did lose 2 yesterday, the 2 in a row. What happened?
Just play baseball. I mean, that's baseball. I mean, they weren't going to lose. They were going to lose again. Like, that's what Brandon Woodruff's quote was. That was so great yesterday in the post game, where it's just, you win 14 in a row and you feel like you're never going to lose again. You lose 2 and all of a sudden, like, oh my God, the sky's falling. So they're still in really good shape. They're still just fine. They were going to lose back-to-back games at some point before the end of the season. And it's still only the 3rd time they've done it since Memorial Day. When you really think about that for a second, that it's been so rare that it feels so new.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You win. Yeah, and you win today. You're back up to an 8-game lead. You don't need to necessarily win on Thursday, but you will only lose 1 game in the standings to the Cubs with 36 games to go.
And Miz on the mound today. I don't want to say that the luster is off what he did when he started his season with the Brewers, sort of midway through and kind of at the start of this incredible run. But it does seem like we've got some distance from that now. And, of course, you had the All-Star break. You've got the line drive off the shin, a little stint on the DL, kind of a rocky start last time. Another opportunity, though, because it's a hostile crowd. It's a division rival. Wrigley Field, he's never pitched there before. So he continues to sort of clear these barriers on his way to hopefully becoming a very important part of a playoff roster.
Yeah, I think these are very important starts, not just because we know Miz is talented and we know what he's capable of, but at the end of the day, he still needs to perform. Like, they know what he's capable of, and they have plenty of experience. Like, they don't want this to become a situation where if Miz falters down the stretch and Quintana continues to show his surge of this second half, where it's like, all of a sudden, do you put Miz in the bullpen and say, go let it eat for an inning, and we're going to have Quintana start the game or something like that, where I don't want that to be on the table, but that's a good luxury that the Brewers have, where they have multiple starters that could start playoff games. for Miz's own psyche and for his own confidence, I mean, this dude struck out 12 Dodgers in July. Like, we've seen him perform at the highest level. I know he can tap back into that. Finally back on a normal rotation here. He probably won't go longer than 80 pitches, but something that the Brewers want to see progress, see something adjusted and moving forward in the right direction.
Hey, did you see this, or maybe you were even there, but when Murphy was asked about counsel and whether there was a point in which he thought he would join the old Brewers manager in Chicago, I love getting the insight on this.
Yeah, so I saw the quote from 670 Score down here in Chicago, but yeah, I mean, Murph was very honest with us when he got the job and sort of, how close it was that if the Brewers didn't hire Pat Murphy, he was looking at condos in Chicago. He was coming down here with correct counsel. So the fact is, like, it came close, and these two guys are still great friends. I think some of the fan bases want these two guys to hate each other. They never will. And I think that, it's the mentor and the mentee. They've learned so much from each other. They were a yin and yang, and they had a great run of success in Milwaukee. And now they both get to continue success individually, and that doesn't separate their friendship. I know everybody wants drama, and they want conflict, and they want something to come out of that. These two guys, their relationship is much stronger than that. And it's really a beautiful thing in such a competitive world that we live in, that Murph and Counts can put that aside and just like, hey, let's play ball. Hopefully my team beats yours, and let's have some fun.
Well, from what I can tell, Dom, looks like a pretty nice day in Chicago, which means there's about a 70% chance the Cubs call this thing off because of a potential threat of rain, right?
Oh my goodness, I'm still mad about them pushing that doubleheader to this week. I'm still mad about that. Like, you just ruffled my feathers again there, Greg, because I can promise you there are a lot of Brewers fans that were mad, and Brewers personnel that were mad that they didn't want to play the doubleheader the next day, and the Cubs waited and made them do it in the middle of this 18 games in a row stretch.
Well, now they get their chance to face Miz, because that was going to be a Jacob Mizorowski game, that game that was whacked due to nice weather in the Wrigley area. Don's been covering the Brewers all season long, does an incredible job. Check out all of his work in covering Brewers extra innings. The social media is a must follow, and he is with the team at Wrigley for the rest of their series. We appreciate it, Dom. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Dom. Have fun.
All right, have some fun. Thanks, y'all.
Yep, you bet. It's 1:26 on WTMJ. Coverage of tonight's game begins following the 6 o'clock news.
If you have not experienced the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club, please do so this week. Friday, the all-you-can-eat haddock fish fry is one of the best, especially with an old-fashioned. This Saturday only, enjoy a chicken chipotle Alfredo pasta dinner with your choice of soup or salad and homemade bread with honey cinnamon butter for just $46.99. And that's for 2 dinners. Unwind with a cocktail in one of the 8 unique dining rooms. The Fox and Hounds is just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of the Holy Hill Shrine. The summer drive is just beautiful. This Saturday only, enjoy 2 chicken Alfredo pasta dinners for under $47. Dinner starts at 3 p.m. Arrive early. Desserts are buy one, get one free. The strawberry sham tort is amazing. All other dinners are buy one, get one free every night. Call and reserve today. foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
Dom Catronio's appearance brought to you by Big Fish Contracting. BigFishContracting.com. See how they're renovating homes and redeeming an industry in Cannon and Dunphy, Wisconsin's premier personal injury law firm. Over $1 billion recovered for clients.
No matter what we were doing, the Brewer game was always on. Kind of the background of my childhood. I wore number 17.
Oh, you did? I didn't know that was my number.
Yep. This is my friend Jim Gantner. Jim was always my favorite player. We did Jim's roof up in Eden.
Right. The great job he does on homes. Most important is honesty, integrity, and doing a great job.
See how Big Fish Contracting is renovating homes and redeeming an industry at BigFishContracting.com.
It's there all day, and it never goes away. I hate pain. It robs us of so much. But if you take action today, your pain could be gone tomorrow. Because at Rejuvenex, we harness the power of Toradol and hyaluronic acid to calm the inflammation and cushion joints. Rejuvenex treatments are safe, they're FDA approved, and in most cases, insurance, including Medicare and Medicaid, pays for them. At as low as $65 per injection per joint, our treatments are affordable. It's not a gimmick. It's pharmacological medicine administered in office in a simple and convenient manner. And with it, our patients have been able to avoid risky surgery and begin to stop the onset of arthritis. I'm Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas, and here we've made pain treatment as easy and affordable as it can be.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
Imagine that unbelievable new deck in your backyard. Outdoor Living Unlimited is Wisconsin's #1 TimberTech deck builder. Building new decks and replacing old ones, creating that $1 million feeling every time you relax in your own backyard. Looking for a company to make your backyard scream wow? Stop by Outdoor Living Unlimited's resourceful Waukesha showroom and visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
IndyCar is back at the Milwaukee Mile August 23rd and 24th. The Snap-on Milwaukee Mile 250 weekend features a high-stakes NTT IndyCar Series race, and the free fan zone will be buzzing with energy all weekend long. Don't miss out on the non-stop action. Get your tickets now for an electrifying IndyCar weekend at the Snap-on Milwaukee Mile 250, August 23rd and 24th at Wisconsin State Fair Park.
Approaching 1:30, I'm Greg Matzek. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Wednesday, August 20th. Your top story, state aid finally coming to Wisconsin's largest school district.
I'm Jessica Tighe. We are just minutes away from free burgers.
Flood warning continues for the Fox River lower in Kenosha County until Monday morning. Partly cloudy, breezy today. Just a very slight chance for some sprinkles and a high of 74. Clear tonight and a low of 65. Thursday looks wonderful. Mostly sunny with a high of 76. We warm up to 80 degrees with mostly sunny conditions on Friday. It's currently 70 and cloudy in Milwaukee.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Rough surf, wind, and erosion from Hurricane Erin starting to battle coastal communities, even though the Category 2 storm's eye is more than 300 miles away. North Carolina's Governor Josh Stein declared a state of emergency and ordered evacuations in the Outer Banks.
We are anticipating coastal flooding from massive waves, tropical storm force winds, and tidal and storm surge for much of the state shoreline, especially the Outer Banks, from this evening through Thursday.
New York City's mayor has closed beaches to swimming. Lifeguards today pulling one woman out of the strong currents. In Texas, victims' families of the July 4th floods are voicing their pain and outrage at a hearing in the state Senate today. After losing their loved ones, 138 people died. Lawmakers are poised to pass legislation to upgrade alert systems. A federal judge has issued a temporary block saying Texas cannot require the 10 Commandments in public schools. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 1:31. More than $16 million in state aid is heading to MPS.
The Department of Public Instruction says Milwaukee Public Schools has finally completed financial reports from the 2022 to 23 fiscal year that caused the state aid to be withheld originally. The funds will be directed to special education and students who are raising children of their own. DPI is expected to release the remaining $25 million in state aid in the coming weeks when final reports for the 2023-24 fiscal year and a review of the district's plans for improvement are sent. That will be the final release of all funds withheld by DPI. Sean Brinda, WTMJ News.
He's no longer involved in his son's civil case, at least for now. A Milwaukee County judge dismissed Stephen Anderson from the wrongful death lawsuit tied to his son, convicted murderer Maxwell Anderson.
I do find that there were, things that were not done here that should have been done, but on balance, I don't find that warrants a dismissal with prejudice.
The family of 19-year-old Shawnee Robinson is suing the Andersons in her death. The current dismissal leaves open the possibility of refiling the case against father Stephen Anderson in the future. Maxwell Anderson is serving life in prison without the possibility of parole for Robinson's death and dismemberment.
Helping students move in at Marquette University. Collegiate Recovery Program Assistant Michael Diaz spent bulk of the day offering free coffee to students and parents moving into the dorms.
There will never be an easier time to make friends because everybody is desperate for people to talk to. So just put yourself out there, be friendly, talk to strangers, and I feel like freshman in college is a very unique social experience.
Classes at Marquette begin Monday of next week.
The grills are prepped and ready to go for the big burger bonanza.
The Brewers' 12-game win streak means free burgers today at George Webb.
Brewers baseball is synonymous with George Webb.
We just had this prediction for so many years, and it's paid off now. This is the third time, so we're pumped and we're ready to go.
George Webb Vice President Ryan Stamps says the last time this promotion happened, the turnout was massive.
We've done this 2 other times, so we're kind of working out those numbers, what we did in the past, and each streak is different. This one is definitely, there's some more hype to it, so this team is good. They've had a couple of long winning streaks already this year, so we've been preparing kind of all season.
In Brookfield, Nazir Spencer, WTMJ News.
Just how early were Webb's fans and Brewers fans waiting in line? Well, Corey Page was the first person in line about 10:30 this morning at the location on MLK Drive in downtown Milwaukee.
Experience and the winning streaks that we on. The Brewers are hot this month.
Yeah, then Gabriel Hammer joined Page about 11.
Me and this gentleman here, we're talking sports, and everyone I think is excited about what's going on.
Yeah, we're all friends now. The George Webb Free Burger giveaway begins at 2 o'clock at all 23 locations.
Think about the conversations happening in line right now. Oh, that's good stuff. What a fun time in Milwaukee. And in other locations, too. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 1:34.
Now that you're ready to purchase a new bike, do yourself a solid by stopping by one of our Wheel and Sprocket stores to test ride an electric bike, better known today as an e-bike. And let me tell you, these bikes are a game changer because you can ride a whole lot further without even breaking a sweat. We're talking 20 to 50 miles on a single charge. So even riding uphill comes with tons of thrills. But before you decide, stop by any of our Wheel and Sprocket locations first and let us explain in detail what e-bikes are all about. And once you're here, you'll find rows and rows of bikes in a bunch of different styles and colors for you to see, touch, feel, and even test ride. After all, here at Wheel and Sprocket, we love bikes, which is why bikes are all we do.
Visit wheelandsprocket.com for a location near you.
I'm Amelia Kegel with Wheel and Sprocket. Life is short. Enjoy your ride.
Heart disease won't stop us. Diabetes won't slow us down. Allergies, high blood pressure, shoulder pain, cancer. Nothing will keep us from pushing Wisconsin ahead. Because with the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, forward progress is what we stand for. That means always pushing and always innovating. With new technologies and breakthrough treatments that make life better, whether we're sick or well. It means providing more convenience and more ways to receive medical excellence for all your health needs, for big and small. It means being there for you, our family, caring for yours. So let's keep raising the bar. Let's keep testing the limits of what medicine can do. Let's push ahead and make life here as great as it can be. Visit Freighter.com to find out how.
Academic Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 255368.
Don't settle for a flimsy bank pre-approval. Get the pre-approval listing agents and sellers recognized as better than the rest. The rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval from AccuNet. Get yours by clicking on the blue button at accunet.com.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. The Brewers still own a 7-game lead over the Cubs for first place in the division after dropping both games of Tuesday's doubleheader in Chicago. Starter Brandon Woodruff with a little perspective.
We're not affected by losing 2 games in a row. It's baseball. We'll come back. We'll be ready to go the next 2 and see how they play out. But coming off 14 wins in a row, you feel like you can't lose another one. Then when you lose 2 in a row, it feels like the world's falling apart, but it's really not. So we're doing just fine.
Jacob Mizorowski takes the ball tonight. Coverage gets underway following the 6 o'clock news. And the Packers welcome in the Seahawks for a joint practice on Thursday. Jordan Love remains limited at practice. Malik Willis continues to take first-team reps.
I think it's been awesome, just continuing to learn and grow and continue to get reps with guys that I don't usually get the opportunity to get reps with. Just continue to, see what Matt likes, and he can see what I like, and we can continue to just grow together.
And the Bucs signed free agent forward Amir Coffey. He averaged 10 points and 2 rebounds a game playing for the Los Angeles Clippers last season.
Let's get you an update on the roads right now with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. 43 is a problem right now with disabled vehicles. We've got 2 new ones out on the system. Disabled vehicle on the ramp from Highland Road to I-43 South. And the most recent one, just a minute after that one at 132, I-43 North, right around the ramp from County C in Ozaukee County. The right shoulder is blocked due to a car that's broken down there, and we are still dealing with this one on I-43 North, a little bit beyond the ramp from Wisconsin 32 South and Grafton Avenue. In that case, the right shoulder is blocked because of another car that's broken down. 43, a problematic spot for the broken down vehicles today.
No, overall, kind of a nice day. You're starting to get some hints of fall, unfortunately. Maybe it's all in conjunction with Dunkin' releasing their fall menu. I think TMJ4 meteorologist Brendan Johnson has already pumpkin spice latte'd his way through the day.
I know. We'll have to ask Lauren if she's a coffee drinker and if she likes the PSL or if she's all about just the, black and a little milk.
We should find out. I did send Brendan an email because I figured he'd jump all over this, but TMJ4 meteorologist Lauren Larson, how do you get down with your coffee? Lauren, is it too early for pumpkin spice season in your world?
Oh, I unfortunately do think that it's too early for pumpkin spice, and Brendan knows that. I love the fall drinks, once the leaves start to turn, but it's still August.
So tell us, was he going wild this morning?
We do normally overlap for at least a few hours with our shifts. However, I really did not see much of him this morning. So I do know that next Tuesday is the release of the Starbucks pumpkin spice latte, and that is really his jam.
Yeah, that's true. I was just thinking, I don't know if he's a Dunkin' guy. I know he's a Starbucks guy.
Well,
and some people, it doesn't matter. It's like, okay, give me whichever one I'm closest to, right? Convenience.
I'm with you, Lauren. There is a needle to thread here. This is not easy, but you run the risk of doing damage if you're too early to the game, and I feel like Dunkin's a little too early on this one.
I do think so. I also prefer like a hot pumpkin spice latte over an iced one. And we're not quite in the weather conditions for hot coffee just yet, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, and here's the thing, and I'm going to bring this back to weather, so don't you worry, Lauren. But I say it's okay sometimes if you want a hot something. I'll give you an example. Yesterday after the show, I ran to the Starbucks that's close to us here because it's just, we've got this little kind of like, it's almost like a magical little tunnel way, also known as a skyway, where we can get there quickly. And because it just had been dreary for days and kind of rainy, I felt like I wanted a warm something. So I did a vanilla chai, because I wanted something warm and comfy and cozy to work on what I was going to do next. So I think it's all up to the individual. But having said that, I think we talk about the weather because we've got a much calmer stretch on tap. Is that right? I feel like we could use that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think everyone is ready for some calmer weather. I am certainly ready for some calmer weather. It feels like since I started here, it has just been thunderstorms, severe weather, historic flooding, more rain, and I am so ready to kind of put the crazy weather behind me just for the time being. Now that I said that, it's going to be calm forever and ever. But it is a bummer that it is still a little bit cloudy out there. As I look at some of our sky cams in Racine and Port Washington, it definitely looks a little bit clearer. We're still holding on to those clouds, but there is a hint of some sunshine out there. So expect these clouds to break up as we go throughout the rest of the day today. Highs are only in the low 70s, though. So, not cold by any means, of course not, but it isn't the 80s and humid that we've been feeling, it feels like, throughout most of the month of August. And like you mentioned, the entire week is really looking calm. Our temperatures are only in the mid 70s, low 80s. We have more sunshine, maybe some showers overnight Friday, but we're not tracking heavy rain or training storms with that or anything. It's just, hey, we might see a few sprinkles.
Well, I think a lot of people who've got kids are trying to hustle off to soccer practice or, Friday night football. I think everybody's going to be cool with that kind of forecast, even if it is a little bit on the cool side, Lauren. The hints of fall are okay as long as we're not totally done with summer yet.
Yes, I fully agree. And even today we were talking about some back to school stories, and I was thinking, oh my gosh, is it really time for that already? But I know we're just a few short weeks away.
No doubt about it. Lauren Larson, TMJ4 meteorologist. Appreciate your time, Lauren. Thank you.
Thanks, Lauren.
Yeah. Have a great day.
You do the same. 1:43 in WTMJ. Very excited that Dr. Ben Weston is in our studio for our weekly wellness check. A rare in-studio appearance from Dr. Weston after this.
Hunting season's just around the corner. Time to gear up with the best names in the business at prices that will not be beat. Like a Wildview 16-megapixel trail cam for just $34.99. The Big Game 16-foot Warrior Pro tree stand is on sale for $149.99. And take aim and comfort with a Hawk Big Denali luxury blind chair for just $134.99. Stop in for these hunting specials and more at your local Fleet Farm. And check out all our weekly deals at fleetfarm.com.
For 70 years, Geis has been the trusted garage authority in the state of Wisconsin. Do not let that busted garage door get you down. Connect with Geis, and they'll get you back in the game with inventory that is busting the seams. Pretty amazing stuff. I've been through the showroom in Brookfield. Could not believe how many doors and openers they had in stock and ready to go. And hopefully that means a very quick turnaround time for you. With brands like CHI and LiftMaster, they got you covered here. They can even go the custom design route. Whatever meets your needs, they've got you covered at Geis. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, check out GeisDoors.com. Stop by the showroom in Brookfield like I have. And don't think twice. Call Geis and visit GeisDoors.com.
Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. Several locations, several choices. Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. There's one near you.
Discover Proof Pizza at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. In the heart of Milwaukee's Theater District, this modern pizzeria delivers Neapolitan-style pies, a bold grill menu, and old-school hospitality in a sleek, art-inspired setting. Whether you're craving a quick lunch or a relaxed evening bite, Proof Pizza is your go-to downtown destination. Dine in, unwind, and savor flavor that hits just right. And here's a tip. If you mention Jen Latta, you'll receive 10% off your order. Learn more at stkatearts.com.
As the kiddos get ready to get back to school, you can find really great back-to-school savings at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. School supplies and some surprisingly cool clothing too. And teachers, you get an additional discount. Get the best back-to-school bargains at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Healthy joints, healthy lifestyle. Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Arthritis, injuries, wear and tear, common joint issues that keep you from doing what you love. At OAW, a visit to the doctor doesn't always mean surgery. Everyone is different. Surgeons, nurses, physical therapists work together to come up with a plan for you. Maybe it's PT, medication, injection, and if you do need surgery like I did, you know you're in the best of hands. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. Book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
Your first time biking to work. Your new helmet? Secure. Your bike? Road ready. You got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Access Checking. It's maintenance fee-free with no minimum balance requirements. So even if down the road that bike needs a little maintenance, at least your checking account won't. You've got this with Access Checking from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Doctor, give me the news. I got a bad case of loving you.
Time for a weekly wellness check with Dr. Ben Weston, Associate Professor of Emergency Medicine at the Medical College of Wisconsin, Chief Health Policy Advisor for Milwaukee County. What'd you have for lunch out there? You were touring the market hall. We saw you walking around last hour.
I did. You know, today I decided to go healthy. I should say I don't always go healthy, but I had a Greek salad and it was delicious.
That sounds nice.
Yeah.
That was so funny. Nice. I was just asking him that, and he said a salad, and I'm like, of course you had a salad, but no, you're not always
I'm not always salad. Just today, I felt like I've been eating out a lot. I should be healthy, so I did.
All right, so let's talk back to school anxiety. You see the topic. I don't know who it relates to more, the student or the parents, right? Because there's a little bit of both for both groups of people, but it is a thing. First day of school around the corner. Some colleges, of course, have already started. But it is not just kids who feel the jitters here, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think back to school stirs up emotions in parents as well as kids. And a lot of times those emotions are anxiety. Now, it's very normal for kids to feel uneasy. They're going into a new grade. It's a new teacher. They're seeing all their friends again that they haven't seen for the whole summer. But usually that nervous energy fades in the first few days or weeks. But when it lingers, when it starts showing up in other areas of life, you want to pay attention. Is it changing their routine? Are they not eating breakfast? Are they falling asleep, complaining of a stomachache every day? When it starts interfering with daily life, you want to reach out to a school counselor, to your pediatrician, to a therapist, and see if there's other things going on. And especially now, a lot of families are struggling with wet basements and getting stuff out of there and mold and everything else that's affecting our community. So it certainly can compound that anxiety.
Yeah, so much going on right now. So how can parents help the kids feel more prepared and really confident for a new school year, especially if they're nervous? Sometimes kids are nervous about a new teacher, maybe a new building, or just getting back into that routine.
Right, absolutely. I mean, helping a kid feel ready for school can have some very intentional steps. So one way to think of it is preview, practice, and positivity. So previewing what's ahead. Familiarity can reduce fear. So it might be visiting the school, taking a walk around, getting all the school supplies together, looking at classroom photos, and then practice the routine. And so start doing this stuff at least in the week before school. Waking up when you normally would, going to bedtime a little bit earlier, not summer bedtime anymore, maybe even doing a morning run with breakfast and getting dressed for younger kids. And then positivity. This is powerful, especially when it's honest and when it's grounded. So instead of brushing off their nervousness, acknowledge it. Say it's okay to feel a little bit nervous. I know you're going to find your rhythm. You're going to be okay.
That is interesting. So our daughter is same district, but new school, right? She's going into 5th grade, so that's a new school within our district. The district does an amazing job of having multiple touch points with that new school throughout the course of the year. So as a 4th grader, they were doing at least once a month something at the new school just to get into the walls, see the rhythms, I don't know, figure out what the bathroom was, see what the cafeteria looked like, all that kind of stuff. And you put it all together, and she's cool with it, looking forward to it, excited. So all the positive emotions that we like. So it's a sort of a positive level of anxiety, if there is such a thing.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. And when your kid is opening up about feeling nervous or feeling unsure, your first job as a parent is really just to listen. Instead of saying you're fine, it's nothing to worry about, you can say it makes sense. You know, new things feel overwhelming to me too. You can validate how they're feeling and be honest about their stress as well as maybe yours. Maybe you have a lot going on in your life too, and you can model how to handle that uncertainty and how to approach it.
We were just talking the other day about school lunches and the cost of school lunches, and I was saying school lunches have changed so much over the years. I think they're healthier. There's a more variety there. Data shows there's a significant link between academic performance and dietary behaviors. And actually, the Milwaukee Public Schools' most recent budget included having salad bars in every high school. So why is it important for kids to have access to fresh, healthy food at school? And how does that impact more than just their physical health?
Yeah, when we talk about student success, often we focus on curriculum, on attendance, on test scores, but there's some more basis that can underpin a lot of that, and that's nutrition. It's a healthy diet, and it doesn't have to just support physical growth, but it fuels brain development, memory, focus, emotional regulation. We see that kids who eat well are more likely to get better grades. They have fewer behavioral problems. They have higher attendance. And in particular, when kids are hungry or they're living in food insecure households, it's hard to concentrate. It's hard to stay motivated, and even harder to catch up.
Well, you think about the investment that MPS has made and other school districts have made. There is a long-lasting potential positive impact from all this, isn't it? To try and help create those relatively healthy eating habits and the idea of balance and adding fruits and vegetables and so on?
Absolutely. I mean, it can make a positive long-term difference in a few different ways. So first of all, it offers access to fresh options. Just adding or improving salad bars in MPS high schools can ensure students regularly see and can choose real whole foods rather than processed foods, and that can shape food preferences over time. Second, it builds lifelong healthy habits. They see healthy choices as a part of their regular day, and it can help lay groundwork for lifelong eating habits. And then third, every school lunch tray is an opportunity to narrow that gap for food insecure households or food secure households. That lunch period can be a point of common ground for all those kids.
I was mentioning earlier the cost of a school lunch, and I think the report basically came out and said that it is cheaper these days by a little bit. I think it was maybe $2. Don't quote me on that. I don't remember exactly. It was a couple weeks ago, but I think it was like $2, maybe cheaper, to have your kids eat the school lunch versus you making it. But it all depends, too. I mean, you have budgets that are tight in some cases. In some families, time is really limited. So how can parents and caregivers support healthy eating habits at home?
Yeah, I mean, eating at school is critically important, but remember, it's just one piece of the puzzle. What happens at the home can be equally as important, and it doesn't necessarily have to be expensive or time-consuming. Even just a few nutritious staples on hand, things like frozen veggies, canned beans, whole grain rice and pasta. These can be inexpensive things that you can just have on hand and add into meals. You can also involve your kids in meal prep, even if it's just rinsing the fruit or grabbing a vegetable out of the fridge for dinner. They can be more engaged, and that might make them a little more excited to eat it. And then perhaps most importantly, you have to model this behavior. If the kids are the only ones eating veggies at the table, they're probably not going to do it. And so if you eat these foods, they're going to see you doing this and see these healthy behaviors.
Dr. Ben Weston joining us here on our weekly wellness check. So you also got to make sure your kids are up to date on immunizations, Dr. Weston. We talked about this several months ago, but Wisconsin is starting to see a little decline, maybe kids falling behind with their required vaccines. What has changed, and how can parents make sure the kids are protected and ready for school?
Yeah, so Wisconsin has made some changes to their vaccine requirements. Now, these vaccine requirements can be complicated, and that's why you have pediatricians and family doctors who out there who can, make sure you're up to date. But the two most significant changes, so first of all, 7th graders now need the meningococcal vaccine. That's to prevent meningitis. And then you get a booster for 12th graders. And then second, for chickenpox, you have to have a healthcare provider confirm that you've had a prior case of chickenpox if you're skipping that vaccine. And these align with national recommendations. They kind of reflect the reality that kids spend a lot of time together each day. And it just takes one case to spread quickly, especially when there's not as many people vaccinated.
And I think about the measles, and we just had another situation here in Wisconsin with that, how contagious that is. What happens if a student falls behind on their shots or doesn't have any vaccine records on file?
Yeah, so actually, if you're behind on your shots, schools don't just tell you can't attend. There's something called the in-process category, and it gives parents flexibility to kind of catch up. And so you can work with your healthcare provider, you put a plan into the school, and you show you're on track to catch up with your vaccines. But we are seeing in Wisconsin a rising number of students falling behind on their vaccinations. So it's essential to get ahead of it, protect your child, protect your family, and keep everybody safe.
Dr. Weston, when is it too early to start preparing your spouse or loved one for the departure of your children to college? My daughter is 10. I'm wondering if I should get started now, because I remember my wife's reaction when my daughter got on the school bus for the first time. It wasn't pretty, and our child was back 4 hours later on that same school bus. And when is it too early? Is it about 8 years? Should I start the process now?
Yeah, I think the same principles apply. You could start rehearsing this. You could start walking out the door saying you're driving her off to college, and just start getting those reps in, getting her used to it.
I'm probably going to need the same amount of help, though. I could appreciate that. Always good information with Dr. Ben Weston. We always appreciate your time, Dr. Weston. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good to be with you.
You bet. 1:56 on WTMJ. News coming up in just a few.
I've always believed that great service makes all the difference. At Waterstone Bank, it's more than just banking. It's personal. When I needed help choosing an account, my banker took the time to understand my needs and guided me through my options. Thanks to her advice, I can watch my money grow, knowing it's secure.
Welcome to your Waterstone Bank, where community and personal service come together. Member FDIC.
Standing up for people and families seriously injured in accidents, and also standing up for victims and take the burden off their shoulders. Greg Matzek here for Gruber Law Offices. They focus on the legal aspect. If you've been hurt in an accident, you focus on healing. That's the beauty of Gruber. You make that call, and they really take it from there. Check out gruber-law.com. Learn more about this incredible team that has been doing it right in Wisconsin for 40 years and giving back to the community. All very important to the folks at Gruber. Family-run business, such wonderful people, and they are designed to help you. Family-owned and operated, but a large, powerful team at Gruber. They've got the resources to take on the insurance companies as one of the largest personal injury firms in the Midwest. Visit gruber-law.com. Learn about the firm. Learn about what they do in the community. And make the call if you've been hurt in an accident to 414-276-6666.
It's Debbie Loziga for Comfort Awnings. This summer, I'm getting relief from the hot sun whenever I need it with my motorized retractable awning from Comfort Awnings. Sensors are also available that detect strong winds and rain to extend or retract your awning. They even protect against UV radiation so you can safely enjoy the outdoors all summer long. Family owned and located in Burlington, Comfort Awnings expertly installs custom awnings that fit your home and style. Right now, you can receive $200 off all awnings and screens. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com.
This division race might already be over.
Breaking ball, hit high, hit deep, left center, bye-bye baseball!
The Brewers Brewers take on the Cubs in Chicago.
That could be two to second for one. On to first, double play. Ball game over.
This series is sponsored by IKEA Oak Creek. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6:30. We are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scavini for QC Kinetics. You ever wake up with that pain in your back or your elbow? In my case, it's my elbow, or your knee or your other joints. Well, how about doing something about it? I went to QC Kinetics. I talked to Dr. Ashley Caravelli and their team and scheduled my treatments, 5 treatments throughout the summer, to make me feel better, to use my own body to help restore and repair this damaged joint, in my case, the elbow, using natural therapies, no surgery, none of the pills, no masking of the injuries that are bothering you. You can even bring your own x-rays and MRIs to QC Kinetics for a free, no-pressure chat, and you can find out if you're a good candidate. Worst case, you learn something new about yourself. Do what I did. Go to QC Kinetics. You will find out what is ailing you. You'll help your body heal itself. Here's the number, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Don't wait. Call now. QC Kinetics.
So, Alex, why don't you tell us about Lion's Tail?
We've been brewing for 10 years, and now we're busy expanding into Milwaukee, trying to get on every shelf of every store and on tap at every restaurant.
How has Horicon Bank been a part of your story?
Horicon Bank understands the needs of small businesses versus working with a big bank. Horicon, they're much like a small business, just like we are. I know most of the people on that team. It's nice working with someone that understands your business.
It's worth $100 now to save thousands later. Vince Vitrano for Urban Heating and Cooling. Family-owned business. Ryan and his wife, Ellie. I had Ryan out to the Vitrano house for an AC tune-up. Cleaned out all the coils, checked for any issues that could cause breakdowns, set up my air conditioner to run more efficiently all summer. This service available in your home for just $99 plus tax, saving on your electric bills, helping prevent more costly repairs down the road. Tell them Vinny sent you when you call. UrbanHeatingandCooling.com.
I'm Brett Matschke, and you're due for service.
Richlands. This division race might already be over.
Breaking ball. Hit high. Hit deep. Left center. Bye-bye baseball.
The Brewers take on the Cubs in Chicago. This series is sponsored by IKEA Oak Creek. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6:30 on the home of the Brewers. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 2:01. I'm Greg Matzek. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Wednesday, August 20th. Your top story, federal assessment of the flooding damage.
I'm Jessica Tighe, and the giveaway gets underway.
Mostly clear tonight, a low of 65 degrees. Sunny on Thursday and a high of 76. It's currently 70 and mostly cloudy in Milwaukee. At 2:01 from the WTMJ Breaking News Room, agents with the Federal Emergency Management Agency will soon arrive in Milwaukee County to begin damage assessment following historic flooding.
Up to 60 FEMA agents will be on the ground Thursday with the goal of conducting preliminary damage assessments across both Milwaukee County and other surrounding areas impacted by the flooding August 9th and 10th. Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley reminds homeowners even if a disaster declaration is made, rolling out federal funds will take some time.
But we will keep doing everything that we can to ensure that the public stays not only updated, but also informed.
President Trump has sole authority to make a disaster declaration for the region. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
The federal judge who presided over the sex trafficking case against Jeffrey Epstein rejects the government's request to unseal grand jury transcripts. That ruling comes after the judge in the case against Epstein's ex-girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, also turned down the government's request. Maxwell is serving a 20-year prison sentence for helping Epstein sexually abuse girls and young women. Epstein died in jail awaiting trial.
DNA connects a father to the deaths of 3 children in Washington state.
DNA analysis confirms that Travis Decker is the only suspect in the suffocation deaths of his 3 young children, Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia, back in June. The Chelan County Sheriff's Office confirms that DNA found on plastic bags and cable ties at the Rock Island campground is connected to the missing Pewaukee native and former Army soldier. Decker remains on the run and is still considered to be armed and dangerous. Authorities are not sure whether Decker is alive or dead. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Well, it started just minutes ago. A giveaway of 100,000 burgers is now underway.
It's the day thousands of Milwaukee Brewers fans have been waiting for, the George Webb free hamburger giveaway, starting at 2 o'clock till 6 o'clock. The line I am in is at the downtown location on Martin Luther King Jr. Drive at Wells. When I got here, there was a line of 40 people. Now the line goes all the way to Kilbourne, getting ready to enjoy our victory burgers. Sandy Max, live from George Webb, downtown, WTMJ News.
Well, George Webb restaurant server Jessica Warner remembers the last giveaway, and she has a little advice for people visiting today.
Just be patient and we'll get you your burger.
There you go. Sage advice. The George Webb free burger giveaway runs until 6 o'clock today at all 23 locations. Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is fighting back, still down about 3 points at 44,919. NASDAQ off about 210 today at 21,105. S&P 500 also in the red, about 26 points down at 63.85. For sound financial advice from a fee-only fiduciary, it's Annex Wealth Management. Go to annexwealth.com and click on the Get Started button today.
Free burgers here, hopefully a win down in Chicago. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 2:04.
Bill Berrien is a former Navy SEAL, a businessman, and he's running for governor.
I'm Bill Berrien. While the globalists and corrupt politicians shipped our jobs to China, I went all in on Wisconsin. At my manufacturing business, we hire American, build American, and take the fight to China. I'm an outsider and a businessman who puts America first, just like President Trump. Together, we will make Wisconsin manufacturing great again.
Bill Berrien for governor, paid for by Bill for Wisconsin.
When we're out in your town, come say hi as we broadcast live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
Anytime you hear us when we're on the road, you can find us live from our brand new mobile studio.
Whether it be Summerfest, EAA, Opening Day, Air and Water Show, wherever we may be.
You can see us on the radio, live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
News Radio 620 WTMJ.
Greg Matzek here. I want to tell you about my friends at Horicon Bank, doing banking differently since 1896. That is incredible if you think about it. Over 100 years of banking in the state of Wisconsin. Horicon Bank started its operation in 1896, opening its doors to the community in Horicon that was going to work. Well, Wisconsin was hardly 50 years old. Well, today, 100 years later, Horicon Bank is expanding, but they've not lost that community-minded approach. They will treat you like family at Horicon Bank, and they've got the projects and programs to help get your business off the ground. In fact, financing requests can be approved in days and not weeks because Horicon Bank understands you and your business, whether it's getting your business off and running to help meet its cash flow needs, or maybe you just need a simple savings account, first one of its kind for a family member or loved one. It's Horicon Bank all the way. Check them out, Horicon Bank, member FDIC.
Hey, John Mercure here for CertaPro Painters. They painted our house, the outside of the house, fantastic. They did the parts in the sun, the parts in the shade, the parts on the north side, the parts on the south side. They paid attention to detail the whole way. They went the extra mile all day long. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C for your home or your business. They do both. They pay a lot of attention. They took a lot of time with our house, and it looks absolutely perfect. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. They're the real deal. They're the best in the business. It's CertaPro Painters.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from
At
the group
Kendall
of
Marine, we
offices.
have
One
everything
call,
you
that's
need.
all sports desk. Back-to-back losses to the Cubs. Hey, no big deal, according to Brewers starter Brandon Woodruff.
We're not affected by losing 2 games in a row. It's baseball. We'll come back. We'll be ready to go the next 2 and see how they play out. But coming off 14 wins in a row, you feel like you can't lose another one. Then when you lose 2 in a row, it feels like the world's falling apart, but it's really not. So we're doing just fine.
Brewers and Cubs again tonight. It's Game 4 of the 5-game series. Jacob Mizorowski on the mound. Coverage begins following the 6 o'clock news. Packers welcome in the Seahawks for a joint practice on Thursday. Jordan Love remains limited. Malik Willis continues to take first-team reps.
I think it's been awesome, just continuing to learn and grow and continue to get reps with guys that I don't usually get the opportunity to get reps with. Just continue to, see what Matt likes, and he can see what I like, and we can continue to just grow together.
Teams wrap up the preseason Saturday afternoon at Lambeau Field. And just in time for pumpkin spice latte season, the Bucs signed free agent forward Amir Coffey Coffee averaged 10 points and 2 rebounds per game with the Clippers last season.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. We do have a new incident not too far from the airport, 4194 North. Right around the ramp from College Avenue, the right shoulder is blocked because of an incident. I'll tell you what, though, the 2 closest cameras I just took a peek at for you to see what the incident is. Those cameras are not showing anything. So I'm going to be optimistic and hope that this really is nothing. It's going to clear here soon. But I did want to let you know, just in case somebody is going by it and sees it, DOT right now is reporting an incident. The right shoulder blocked, 4194 North, about a little bit beyond the ramp from College Avenue. A couple of disabled vehicles out on the system, including this new one right here in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, 794 West at 4394 South. Right shoulder blocked due to a car that just broke down.
Overall, pretty nice day. It's kind of cool outside, however. 70 degrees for those waiting in line at George Webb under mostly cloudy skies. At least you're not cooking in the sun. Tonight's overnight low 65 degrees. Tomorrow up to 78 with plenty of sun. Could touch 80 on Friday. 70 degrees and cloudy in Milwaukee at 209.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzek and Jessica Tighe.
Gina, hit the sounder. We got burgers to talk about. Hurry, hit it.
Here's your top 2 at 2 on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number 1, it's free burger time. How Milwaukee is this? We love it. Just about 10 minutes ago, George Webb location started giving away free burgers as part of their longtime promotion. The Brewers win 12 games in a row, you get free burgers. Well, the Brew Crew did it. It's only happened 2 times before. WTMJ reporter Neil Doyle joins us live from George Webb on Blue Mound in Brookfield. Neil, are the fans feasting? How many people are in line?
Yeah, Greg and Jessica, fans are feasting for sure. The line has been steadily moving. I'd say when I got here, there were about 50 to 75 people. Quite a few more have shown up since then, and lots of people walking away with their free burger from George Webb's. Saw a ton of Brewers fans, obviously a lot of Brewers gear out here as well. A young lady was celebrating her 90th birthday today with a free George Webb burger. So lots of people excited about this tradition that George Webb has kept going, and lots of people getting their free burgers and lots of smiles, lots of people eating burgers.
Well, good times, man. I'm sure everybody in good spirits, too. Got a nice weather day. My biggest question is, are people going to go with the fries? Are they going to do the onion rings, the double cheese? You got to prepare for all this stuff if you're Webb's. Some people will just get their burger and go, all good, but they do have a limited menu.
Yeah, they are rocking with a limited menu today. I've seen quite a few people that first entered. Some contemplated, were we just going to take the burger and go? They're handing you your burger right as you get in. But some people have sat down, have ordered a few additional things off the item, but quite a few people kind of just walking out as well. It is a beautiful day, so people just kind of standing on the sidewalk here, eating their burger. Some are going back to their car to have the burger. So it's so far pretty a smooth process here at the George Webb in Brookfield.
So much excitement among the fans getting their free burgers. What's the vibe among the workers? Because we did hear earlier this morning from Nazir, who said they were a little nervous. It's a big day.
Yeah, I actually popped my head in the location here right before they opened the doors. They had quite a few staff, everybody in their George Webb blue shirts. They were very excited. They thought it was going to be pretty smooth. They liked the process they had set up here to get people their burgers and if people want to sit down. So they were excited. I'm sure they weren't sure kind of what to expect. But from what I've been looking, I'm standing right outside right now. The line is moving smooth and no complaints. So I think it's been going pretty good.
Love it.
You getting a bite too, Neil? You getting one?
I'm going to see if I can pop in line here. The line continues to grow. Even as people come in and out, I still see people pulling in the lot. They're jumping in line. So I'll see if I can sneak my way in there and get myself a free burger.
All right. The line is growing at the George Webb on Blue Mound in Brookfield, just one of the many locations giving out free burgers today. That's WTMJ reporter Neil Doyle. Thanks so much, Neil.
Thanks, guys.
And number 2, airports are rolling out a new way to fast track through security as airports become a little busier. Clear, you familiar with Clear? You got your global entry, you got your TSA pre-check. Well, Clear is partnering with TSA to launch new e-gates for Clear Plus members. Here's the deal. Travelers will no longer have to show IDs to TSA officers. In fact, you don't have to talk to anybody. Instead, they can verify identity using a biometric scanner.
The new e-gates join other options available to flyers to get through security faster. This comes at a time when travel is booming. TSA reports 7 of its 10 busiest travel days ever were this year alone. And next year, millions will travel for soccer's World Cup here in the U.S. and the country's 250th birthday.
It's ABC's Lionel Moise. Again, no interaction with the human is required. You just go straight to baggage screening. That's pretty efficient. The program already up and running in Atlanta. They're going to try it out in Seattle, then expand it to other cities. But they're just trying to make the process safer and more efficient, and they're citing technology as the reason they can do this.
As long as I get on that plane and get it there on time, I don't mind how I get there.
Well, 2:13 on WTMJ. Wisconsin's Midday News continues after this.
Paying you to live more comfortably. A deal you do not want to pass up. Vince Vitrano for USA Insulation. They will insulate your walls from the exterior. No disruption inside your home. Blow in loose fiberglass in the attic, plus air seal everything. Most homeowners feeling a difference within 24 to 48 hours. And with government rebates, you could save 40 to 60% or more. No work for you to do. USA Insulation will process everything. Visit usainsulation.net. Start saving today.
USA Insulation.
Well, the Brewers are going to be back home following the series in Chicago. And if you want to hit up a home game, you can do it after a quick visit to Potawatomi. That's right. Stop by the sports book before a home game and then catch a ride on the Potawatomi shuttle. All you got to do is meet at the sports book. You can either place a wager, grab some food or something to drink, and then hop on that game day shuttle, make any purchase, and you're good to go. You'll get a wristband, and there you are. You'll be at American Family Field before long. Shuttles begin about an hour before first pitch. Return shuttles run nonstop for an hour after the game. Hop on board the Potawatomi shuttle. For more information, visit Potawatomi.com and bet above the rest.
At Kendor Marine, we have everything you need but the water. For over 50 years, boaters have found that to be true. Because when they've needed that old part they thought they'd never find, guess what? They found it here, along with everything else you need to keep your boat out there on the water. This is Dave Doro, and boaters in the know exactly where to go. Kendor Marine, 57th and Ryan Road in Franklin.
Hey boaters, cruise to Kendor Marine. We got everything you need but the water.
KendorMarine.com.
Hey boaters!
Well, if you have an old boat, new boat, or in between, then Kendor Marine is a great place for you to shop. Because not only do we have all the parts and accessories you need for almost any kind of boat, we also have the expert advice that just about any boater is one day gonna need. I'm Dave Doro, and boaters in the know exactly where to go. Kendor Marine, 57th and Ryan Road in Franklin.
Hey boaters, cruise to Kendor Marine. We got everything you need but the water.
KendorMarine.com.
Imagine that unbelievable new deck in your backyard. Outdoor Living Unlimited is Wisconsin's #1 TimberTech deck builder. Building new decks and replacing old ones, creating that $1 million feeling every time you relax in your own backyard. Looking for a company to make your backyard scream wow? Stop by Outdoor Living Unlimited's resourceful Waukesha showroom and visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
If you have not experienced
Overnight low of 65 degrees tonight. Thursday and Friday look like winners. 76 your high on Thursday, up to 80 on Friday. A slight chance for rain overnight on Friday into Saturday morning. Otherwise, pretty dry stretch, and we need it, no doubt about that. Comfortable temperatures as well. Sun is starting to peek out here in downtown Milwaukee, where it's 70 degrees.
There is an urgent call right now from the Red Cross of Wisconsin. The group needs disaster volunteers. Think about the floods we just had here in Wisconsin, hurricanes down south, or wildfires out west. The Red Cross needs more volunteers to help. The new CEO for the Red Cross of Wisconsin, Catherine Rabenstein, joins us live in the studio to explain what's needed and how you can help. Great to meet you, Kat. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
The most critical need right now is for volunteers who could work on the disaster action team. What does that team do?
The disaster action team is the one that responds to disasters as they happen, mainly home fires. They're at the ready to respond if someone in their community needs help. And I actually brought a special guest with me who is a disaster action team member. His name is Curtis Marshall, and I'm so glad he can be here today. Can you tell us what your disaster action team experience is?
Well, it's the greatest thing I've ever done since I've been volunteering in Milwaukee for over 30 years. It just gives myself and other committed volunteers the opportunity to meet and work with individuals that have, in many cases, lost everything, have nowhere to go, and don't know what they're going to do. And the beauty of the Red Cross is there, and I tell people this all the time, is that the Red Cross is always there when there's no one else there. Often we respond to disasters, and the first responders, like the police and fire, are there. But many times when we respond, there's no one there but the victims themselves, right? So it's just a great opportunity to support individuals and to provide resources right there on the spot, either during or shortly or even maybe days after a disaster. So it's just a great way to give back and to support your neighbors. And I'm just so proud, and I feel very blessed to be able to lead, the effort in Milwaukee to recruit more volunteers from the communities, right? And the whole theme of our outreach is called the Community Mobilization Model. The theme that we carry and I talk about is about neighbor helping neighbor. And that's what it's all about, because so many times we have our responders that are committed and do wonderful work that respond in Milwaukee that are from the suburbs. So there's a great need because the majority of the disasters in Milwaukee are in the city of Milwaukee, and we need really more responders that live right here in the city that can actually help their neighbor.
Catherine, you did such an important time, too, right? Sometimes a disaster could be a house fire, and that is certainly tragic, and there's remarkable loss with that, and the community can sort of rally support Red Cross volunteers. But so many thousands of people have been impacted by recent flooding that all of a sudden the resources become sparse, and that really is part of the call for volunteers to help out if you're able.
Yeah, I'm so glad you brought that up. We are certainly in the midst of that right now. And we're lucky that we have so many people who are helping and so many from the community who are rolling up their sleeves. Imagine, like Curtis just described, your basement flooded and that's where you lived. Maybe it's a shared household and you were the family that lived in the basement. Now you need a place to stay. Who are you going to call? So that's where the Red Cross comes in. We have a shelter open at Marshall High School right now, and the volunteers who are there, they're helping feed people, they're helping manage the shelter, they're helping do casework so you can create a long-term recovery plan. We have healthcare volunteers who are there. When a disaster strikes, whether it's a home fire or a flood, you might lose your glasses, you might lose your prescriptions. These are things people don't necessarily think of. So we have people to help you get right back on your feet as quickly as you can in those first few days after this horrible event takes place. So if you're listening to this and you're thinking, I could help in some way, we've got all the training you need. You'll become a part of a fun group of people who love working together, and you can help your community in a really neat way.
Well, I'm glad you brought up training, because as I was listening to Curtis, I thought he mentioned training. So what kind of training do people need? And also, what is the time commitment? Because I know that there are probably a lot of people listening who are thinking, I would love to help out, but I don't know if I have the time to do it. So what does that entail?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'll start and then I'll ping to Curtis, who can tell you the on-the-ground experience. So the American Red Cross has great training programs. You have online trainings that'll help you get the basics about the American Red Cross and how we all work together. And then you'll get experiential training. So you're shadowing people, you're learning from the experts on the ground. You're never out there alone. So Curtis, do you want to talk a little bit more about what the training involves?
Well, the training it sounds daunting at first, but it's an easy training. There's no long curriculum. Trainings are offered either you can sit at your home computer and do the trainings in 2 4-hour sessions, or you can have the trainings that are face-to-face, right? And I'm just so blessed to do what we call the fast-track DAC training, where I meet with new recruits, and we do 2.5-hour sessions, right? So the trainings, you just aren't thrown out there to respond, but it's very methodical. And I must say that the Red Cross is just they just want to make sure that when you respond with the eye of the Red Cross, in our mission. I mean, and just the kind of person that can show sympathy and empathy and be a very caring person. So these are actually, we actually train, this is encompassed in our training about the principles of the Red Cross and how we want to respond and how we want to connect. And just not, let me just talk to this person, then I'm out of here to the next disaster. But our trainings are very short, concise, and yet they're very thorough. And there's a lot of emphasis put on that because, again, and I must say that, and I tell people all the time that I talk to and recruit, if you aren't able to show that empathy and compassion to someone that has basically lost everything, then perhaps the Red Cross is not for you, and you should look at other, volunteer opportunities. But I mean, the Red Cross is not short on trainings whatsoever. It doesn't matter if you want to respond to disasters, if you want to work in our shelters for feeding and compassion, our mental health support, our healthcare support, spiritual support even. That's a big key because some people that we connect with, they rely on the higher power. So the Red Cross, all these bases are covered because, again, these are things that really impact people's lives, across the board.
So, Catherine, what's the call to action for somebody listening today, right? You're still looking for those who can help out, I'm sure, given all the flooding we've had. And who knows what could happen next week or the week after that and the week after that. So you're kind of operating on a schedule that is it's hard to define. You never know when something is going to happen. So what should people do today?
Go to redcross.org. And this is the place you can go to find everything. If you're interested in volunteering, go to redcross.org, and you can find all the opportunities and figure out where you might want to tap in. You can also go to redcross.org to figure out how to donate blood or to make a financial donation.
Why is there such a need right now for disaster volunteers? Is it fewer volunteers? Is it more disasters? Is it a combination of both? What's going on?
The American Red Cross as a whole is seeing more big disasters and less time in between big disasters.
And how does this flooding, I know you're newer to the spot, but how does the flooding that we have just dealt with here in Wisconsin, this historic flash flooding, how does that kind of compare to other disasters that we've seen as far as the work that the Red Cross has had to put into it?
Yeah, this is the record-breaking flooding and the biggest response we've seen in a handful of years in the Milwaukee County area. We are prepared and we're ready. And it's because of the help of volunteers like Curtis and others that allow us to, as you put it, you never know what's going to happen, but we're there. That's the organization, that's the mind frame that we work from, never knowing what's going to happen.
Well, we appreciate both of you being here. Catherine, the new CEO for the Red Cross of Wisconsin, and then the surprise guest, Curtis. We love having you here to show and explain your experience as a Red Cross volunteer. That was great.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for having us. This is great.
Thank you. Time right now is 2:25. Coming up next, it is your top local news and national headlines as well.
If you have not experienced the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club, please do so this week. Friday, the all-you-can-eat haddock fish fry is one of the best, especially with an old-fashioned. This Saturday only, enjoy a chicken chipotle Alfredo pasta dinner with your choice of soup or salad and homemade bread with honey cinnamon butter for just $46.99. And that's for 2 dinners. Unwind with a cocktail in one of the 8 unique dining rooms. The Fox and Hounds is just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of the Holy Hill Shrine. The summer drive is just beautiful. This Saturday only, enjoy 2 chicken Alfredo pasta dinners for under $47. Dinner starts at 3 p.m. Arrive early. Desserts are buy one, get one free. The strawberry sham tort is amazing. All other dinners are buy one, get one free every night. Call and reserve today. foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
Hey, dog owners or dog lovers, listen up. If you've not connected with my friends at the Hounds and Tap yet in Menominee Falls, you are missing out. It's unlike anything that you'll see in southeastern Wisconsin, or anywhere for that matter. 12,000 square foot facility designed for dogs. Humans going to have a lot of fun as well at that indoor-outdoor tavern, right? You could be watching the game tonight, enjoying a nice Wisconsin beverage while your dog socializes and has fun while you socialize and have fun here in the later part of summer. You can also take advantage of the Hounds and Tap's incredible offerings on a daily basis, talking about doggy daycare, boarding, grooming services, all right there in one facility. Nothing like it. Gorgeous facility. And Leah and Armand do a great job with their team at the Hounds and Tap. Connect with them if you'd like a night out or a day out, or maybe got a longer than expected work day and you're not exactly sure what to do with the dog. Expert staff, you will feel comfortable and confident trusting the care of your dog to them. Check out the Facebook page. You'll see what I'm talking about. Visit thehoundsandtap.com.
WTMJ's Julia Fellow for Appliance Gallery on Wisconsin Avenue in Milwaukee, home to the state's most up-to-date luxury appliance showroom, featuring top brands like Sub-Zero, Wolf, Bosch, GE Cafe, and more. They work seamlessly with your designer or contractor. Customize with colors from Blue Star and True Residential. As a small family-owned business with one location, they handle everything from start to finish. Visit ApplianceGalleryWI.com or stop in today.
Bank 5-9 has a mission to make lives better. They make it a priority to give back to their customers, communities, and their employees. In fact, Bank 5-9 was just honored again by the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel as a top workplace. That makes 16 years in a row. Want to learn more about working with the great people at Bank 5-9? Visit bank59.com/careers. Equal Opportunity Employer, member FDIC.
Are you worried about running out of money in retirement? Wondering about how to pay less taxes? Join me, Tony Drake, for the Retirement Ready Show live every Saturday at noon and Sunday at 7 a.m. on WTMJ 620 or 103.3 FM. We'll talk about smart strategies to help you retire with confidence. Don't miss it.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
Find it at the showroom, take it home to make sure it's right. Vince Vitrano for Hunt's Flooring in Greenfield. Not some chain or corporate showroom. Hunt's is a family-run business specializing in beautiful, durable flooring from luxury vinyl to cozy carpet and timeless hardwoods. Find a great deal, take the samples home, and take your time. No high-pressure sales. The Hunt's team is patient, helpful, and ready to go when you're ready with your project. Visit Hunt's Flooring on Highway 100 or get started now at huntsflooring.com.
Bill Berrien is a former Navy SEAL, a businessman, and he's running for governor.
I'm Bill Berrien. While the globalists and corrupt politicians shipped our jobs to China, I went all in on Wisconsin. At my manufacturing business, we hire American, build American, and take the fight to China. I'm an outsider and a businessman who puts America first, just like President Trump. Together, we will make Wisconsin manufacturing great again.
Bill Berrien for governor. Paid for by Bill for Wisconsin.
It's 2:30. I'm Greg Matzek. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. It's Wednesday, August 20th. Your top story, finally getting delayed state aid.
I'm Jessica Tighe. Not going to miss out on today's burger giveaway.
Mostly clear tonight, a low of 65 degrees. Sunny for your Thursday and a high of 76. We could hit 80 on Friday. It's currently 71 in Milwaukee.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Texas House lawmakers could vote today on a redistricting bill aimed at giving the GOP 5 new House seats. That led to Democrats breaking quorum earlier this month until they returned. Now California is considering redrawing maps to counter Texas. ABC News political director Avery Harper.
Lawmakers there discussing the ballot language that could go on a ballot in November should they formally call for a special election to vote on redistricting in that state. What's different about Texas than California is that California voters are going to have to decide whether to allow for California lawmakers to redraw those maps.
2 U.S. officials confirm American military conducted a ground raid in northwestern Syria last night, targeting a senior ISIS official believed to be the next leader of the terror group in Syria. The U.S. says there were no civilian casualties. Aaron remains a Category 2 storm in the hurricane in the Atlantic, with surge and rip current alerts stretching along the East Coast. This is
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 2:31. More than $16 million in state aid is heading to Wisconsin's largest school district.
The Department of Public Instruction says Milwaukee Public Schools has finally completed financial reports from the 2022 to 23 fiscal year that caused the state aid to be withheld originally. The funds will be directed to special education and students who are raising children of their own. DPI is expected to release the remaining $25 million in state aid in the coming weeks, when final reports for the 2023-24 fiscal year and a review of the district's plans for improvement are sent. That will be the final release of all funds withheld by DPI. Sean Brinda, WTMJ News.
It's moving day at Marquette. As first-year students get situated into their dorms at MU, parents reflect on their own experiences.
Parents Melissa and Scott Zwick say their move-in day was less efficient than what move-in day is now for their son George.
I remember it being fun and exciting. Now it's fun and exciting and super nerve-wracking because it's my kid.
I remember being really nervous, and I don't think I was ready. And I feel like my son's more ready than I was.
George says he's just as nervous, but is ready for a new chapter of his life.
I mean, obviously I love my parents, but I am looking forward to that for sure. Just meeting a lot of new people, just learning the area. I like Milwaukee. Milwaukee's cool, so I'll look forward to just exploring, hanging out.
Sean Brinda, WTMJ News.
Well, several southeast Wisconsin mayors are re-exploring the idea of a passenger rail line between Milwaukee and Kenosha.
The Milwaukee Area Racine-Kenosha, or MARC, Passenger Rail Commission has been proposed by the mayors of the three cities, which if ultimately approved would examine a possible train line connecting downtown Milwaukee to the Wisconsin-Illinois line. The concept shares characteristics of previous passenger rail efforts in the region, including the development of a regional transit authority in 2009 that was dissolved just 2 years later. The new proposal involves no local funding obligations, nor causes any immediate fiscal impact on the three cities involved. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
An unexpected merger between three high school football teams.
What started as a two-school team, Mesmer and Shorewood, will now partner with Dominican High School to form a three-school football team merger.
The number of kids at Shorewood, and definitely Mesmer too, has decreased. So we wanted to try to make our booster or our roster boost it up higher or get more kids out and interested.
Mesmer High School Athletic Director John Johnson.
I want there to be kids that come back 5 and 10 years from now, let's say, we were part of something that started from the ground level, and 10 years later, look at how great it is, and look what we started.
Coach Michael Brown Johnson was elected as new head coach of the football team. Nazir Spencer, WTMJ News.
And it's Burger O'Clock in Milwaukee.
A lot of Milwaukee Brewers fans on a mission this afternoon to get their free George Webb hamburger at one of the 23 restaurants around Wisconsin. And I can report that the downtown location on Martin Luther King Jr. Drive and Wells, they have this giveaway down to a science. When you entered, you get sent to the left if you want to order maybe fries and a soda with your free hamburger. But if you just want to get in and get your hamburger, you went to the right and they had pre-wrapped hot hamburgers ready to hand you. My experience took 8 minutes. Your results may vary. Give it a try. I'm Sandy Max, live downtown at the George Webb, WTMJ News.
We get the free burgers. Hopefully the Brewers get the win tonight. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 2:35.
Soak up summer days at the ballpark while they're still here. Be here when the Brewers host the Giants, August 22nd through the 24th. Lead off the weekend with Stranger Things theme night arriving Friday the 22nd. From there, collect a legendary Bob Uecker golf umbrella giveaway for the first 25,000 fans on Saturday the 23rd. And if this series couldn't get any better, it's the return of Willie Adames to American Family Field. Get your seats today at brewers.com/tickets.
Hey, Greg Matzek here for Flanders Home Entertainment. Boy, what a great time to be thinking about upgrades to your home system, whatever it is, audio, video. If you're looking for a technology upgrade, you got to watch that movie on a bigger screen or better resolution, right? Maybe the big game. You know what I'm talking about. Well, Flanders has the solutions. They also have the installation experts that'll help simplify the process and upgrade your home entertainment experience. I first shopped with Flanders back when I was in high school. That's right. Just wanted some beautiful speakers. And honestly, those things lasted the test of time. They were amazing. They were wonderful. Bought a first big screen TV from Flanders, looking at like 20 years ago. Pretty amazing that I still have it. It's Flanders. In the age of impersonable big box stores and those risky online purchases, don't worry about that stuff. Work with Flanders. Guaranteed best prices, quality, service, the best brands, all top priorities. Such wonderful people. Locally owned Flanders. Visit them in West Dallas, Grafton, and of course at Flanders.com. It's sound advice at the best price. Just press play.
Christopher Mancuso here from Accurate Basement Repair. We know this is an incredibly difficult time for our community, and our hearts go out to everyone affected by the recent record flooding. Our team here at Accurate Basement Repair truly appreciate your patience as we try to respond to the overwhelming number of requests. We want to help all of our valued listeners, so please visit our website at AccurateBasementRepair.com. That's AccurateBasementRepair.com, and fill out your inspection request. Remember, you're not alone. Accurate Basement Repair is here to help. Thank you again for your patience.
We see you out there, making the most of every moment, one big, bright idea at a time. At Blaine's, we're glad to be part of it by offering best-in-class products and solutions at unbeatable farm and fleet prices. Like men's Rustler jeans, $16.99. Rewards members save an extra $1. All Wrangler Retro jeans, buy 2, get 1 free. 25% off men's ATG by Wrangler pants. And men's Lee Extreme Motion jeans, $21.99. Find value on the things you value. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Jacob Mizorowski goes to the mound tonight as the Brewers look to bounce back after losing a pair of games on Tuesday to the Cubs. Starter Brandon Woodruff with a little perspective.
We're not affected by losing 2 games in a row. It's baseball. We'll come back. We'll be ready to go the next 2 and see how they play out. But coming off 14 wins in a row, you feel like you can't lose another one. Then when you lose 2 in a row, it feels like the world's falling apart, but it's really not. So we're doing just fine.
Coverage of tonight's game begins following the 6 o'clock news on WTMJ. Packers wrap up the preseason on Saturday at Lambeau against the Seahawks. They'll be in town tomorrow for a joint practice. Malik Willis continues to take first-team reps.
I think it's been awesome, just continuing to learn and grow and continue to get reps with guys that I don't usually get the opportunity to get reps with. Just continue to, see what Matt likes, and he can see what I like, and we can continue to just grow together.
Quarterback Jordan Love remains limited about a week after having surgery on his non-throwing hand. And the Bucs signed free agent forward Amir Coffey, who averaged 10 points and 2 rebounds a game with the Los Angeles Clippers last season.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. We have a new disabled vehicle. It is on 794 West at 4394 South. Right shoulder is blocked because of this one. And I'm taking a peek at the cameras. There's actually 2 vehicles off to the side. I don't know if one is just trying to help out, maybe a driver trying to help out here, but I can see the car that's broken down. The driver has the hood popped. Greg, they're trying to get this car going again, but the bottom line for drivers passing by right now is we do have this disabled vehicle that people are kind of just slowing down by. 794 West at 4394 South, right shoulder blocked because of it.
Traffic is sponsored by the Amazing Mineshaft Restaurant in downtown Hartford.
Enjoy the new all-you-can-eat Saturday breakfast buffet from 8 a.m. till noon for under $10 at the Mineshaft Restaurant in downtown Hartford. Just walk on in. It's big food, it's big fun, it's the Mineshaft.
Mostly clear, low of 65 overnight. Thursday's high 76 under mostly sunny skies. Friday, plenty of sun with a high of 80, just a slight chance for overnight showers. Saturday's high 78. Sunday, a little cooler, mostly sunny, and a high of 70 degrees. 69 degrees, the sun is peeking out in Milwaukee at 2:40. So researchers from the Medical College of Wisconsin are joining forces with the community to eliminate cancer disparities in the state of Wisconsin. They actually need your help in this pursuit. Medical College of Wisconsin is recruiting participants from the community to collaborate with the researchers at the MCW to better understand disparities in cancer diagnosis and treatment. Nikki Lytle is facilitating the program and joins us on the line. Hi, Nikki.
Hi, how's it going?
It's such an interesting program that you guys are working on here, but what do you need help from the community for? What exactly do you need community members to help fuel this whole program?
Well, to start with, for those who may be unfamiliar with cancer disparities, it's a term that really refers to measurable differences in cancer outcomes between certain populations. So as an example of that, within Milwaukee, Black patients develop pancreatic cancer at higher rates and have worse outcomes than the non-Black community. And that's just one example of a cancer disparity here in Milwaukee. But we believe that, cancer disparities is a complex issue, multi-factor challenges that require many different perspectives, working collaboratively to ultimately find better solutions. So part of that collaborative, multidisciplinary perspectives coming together involves recruiting Milwaukee community members to work with researchers at MCW.
So what are the benefits for people who would join, and what does the curriculum include?
So the curriculum, to begin with, it runs from September to May, and it's actually completely free, which is a phenomenal opportunity for anybody who's interested in cancer disparities, understanding more about cancer disparities, and then working towards potential solutions. It requires, about 2 hours per week on Wednesday afternoons for individuals, And that looks like it's a combination both virtual and in person, and really learning from each other and learning this curriculum towards understanding all the factors contributing to disparities, and then again, ultimately coming up with potential solutions to address those disparities.
How do you envision this will help, Nikki, right? You're talking about a relatively small cross-section of people. Do you feel comfortable in the data that you'll be able to procure and in how it could help foster treatments down the road?
Absolutely. Well, I hate to be overly confident, but, this has been going on for several years at this point. And, in the past cohorts of community members and scholars that have come together have had, amazing experiences and amazing outcomes. And for example, I'll just tell you some of the quotes from past scholars. One scholar said, through this program, we've gained new tools and perspectives to tackle issues. It's time for institutions to implement these changes. They've actually come up with very fascinating community-facing events, such as bringing awareness to prostate cancer screening, cervical cancer screening, et cetera.
You mentioned scholars. Who have the scholars been in the past?
It's typically a mix that is all recruited out of Medical College of Wisconsin and Froedtert. It's primarily dominated by basic scientists. I myself am a basic scientist at Medical College of Wisconsin studying pancreatic cancer, but we've also recruited people from the clinical side as well. And the idea is like for example, I know probably way too much about cancer itself, the biology of cancer, but nobody along the way talked to me about what causes disparate outcomes amongst populations in Milwaukee and beyond. And if I want to help, move the needle forward in terms of bringing more people to long-term survival, that's beyond just the biology of the cancer. It's really getting treatments to the community.
And which is why you're recruiting participants from the community to help collaborate with your researchers. So what's the call to action here if folks are interested in trying to be a part of the program or help you?
So the call to action is, number one, submitting an application or reaching out to us. Either way, we can help, get community members plugged into this program. And then number two, just really being open to learning from your peers. And this comes both from community members and scholars. For example, I was able to participate a lot in last year, and I can't even tell you how much I learned about hearing people's perspectives. Black folks from Milwaukee, Hispanic folks from Milwaukee, telling me about their cancer journeys or cancer journeys of their loved ones and the hurdles they faced all along the way. And it was incredibly eye-opening and really drove my passion to continue participating in this program. So now that being said, the easiest email is ccsn@mcw.edu. My name is Nikki Lytle. If you certainly Google Nikki Lytle MCW, I'm a great contact as well.
Nikki, what's next? So once you have all of these scholars get together and you learn about the impact of cancer in different communities and how factors like lifestyle, biology, environment, healthcare, and policy play a role, what do you then do with the information?
From there, what we do is we try to, number one, gauge the interest of the group and the goals of the group, and then craft community-facing events accordingly. So, one example is I recently had the opportunity to give a talk about cancer biology and disparities to a faith-based group that brought together about 50 individuals from faith-based communities in Milwaukee, just to inform them about some of the, contributing factors to look out for maybe members of their churches, for example. That's just one example. There's also, community-facing events that have been held at MATC, aimed towards recruiting more, Black community members to participate in prostate cancer screening efforts. Those are two examples, but really the sky is the limit. And just learning from the community and from MCW scholars and bridging that gap is just one approach that needs to happen to address disparities in Milwaukee.
Is there a cap on the amount of people you're looking for, Nikki, just to make it manageable from a program execution standpoint, or is this pretty much open to anybody who might be able to share their experience?
So far we haven't had to draw a cap. We usually have around 12 to 20 members total. So, and it's always been a nice mix between community and scholars. But, the more voices we can have in the room, the better. So we really encourage anybody who might have any interest in cancer disparities in Milwaukee to apply to this program. Reach out again to ccsn@mcw.edu.
Well, it's a fascinating program. Nikki Lytle is facilitating it here in Milwaukee, a cancer disparities program, and they need you to help and share your experiences, bring more voices to the table. Nikki, we appreciate your time, and certainly this project is remarkable. Thank you so much for all you do.
Thanks, Nikki.
We're so grateful for you guys. Thank you so much.
Yes, our pleasure. It's 2:48 on WTMJ.
Goodyear, Dunlop, Kelly, Continental, General, you name it, we got it.
Plus, free flat tire repair, free tire rotations, and more.
So when you're due for tire service, schedule it at richlawns.com.
That's Rich Lawns with 2 N's.
Rich Lawns.
Greg Matzek here for Siding Unlimited, truly siding and a whole lot more. We talked about all the flooding from over the weekend. We were lucky. We did not really have any issues at our house, and I was looking at a specific area of our house where Outdoor Living Unlimited built our patio shortly after we moved in, and I got to be honest, the craftsmanship is unbelievable. This is why you want to have a great installer work on your project, whether it's windows, doors, roofing, siding, all the things that Siding Unlimited does, or Outdoor Living Unlimited with their patio projects, decks, pavers, whatever it is that they're going to build for you. I looked at the first row of pavers placed by the house, right around the foundation. They were all pitched just ever so slightly so any water that hits would run away from the house. The interlocking sand, the joint sand, still nicely intact. I usually throw a little bit down every couple of years as the sand starts to erode, as weather does its thing. But all those things help maintain the integrity of our house. And I can't thank them enough for the expert craftsmanship at Siding Unlimited. I think it saved us. I really do. Siding Unlimited, the best installer of fine quality products in a number of ways to help beautify your home's exterior. Check them out at sidingunlimited.com. Bring some ideas out to their showroom in Brookfield. They are the best, no doubt about it. And they are a premier certified contractor of the year award winner, courtesy of Pella. That means the best installers, the best products are right here in Wisconsin at Siding Unlimited. Visit sidingunlimited.com.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom-quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Patrick and Monica initially chose a bank to get pre-approved and provide financing for the purchase of their first home. But they were getting a bad feeling when a week after their offer was accepted, the bank still hadn't locked in their rate, nor had the appraisal been ordered. Monica shared her concerns with a friend who happened to be a multi-time AccuNet client. That led to Monica connecting with one of our senior loan consultants the same day, and after gathering some information and reviewing options, we locked in their rate right then and there with loan costs $3,600 lower than what the bank had quoted. The appraisal was ordered right away too, and the loan closed on time just 3 weeks later. We also noticed an oversight in the contract that led to a $3,000 credit from the seller. You can get a generic pre-approval and average or worse service from a bank, or you can get the kind of fast service, advice, attention to detail, and savings that made Monica and Patrick AccuNet's latest raving fans. All you got to do to get started is click on the blue button at AccuNet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
A pretty nice day to wait in line for a free burger. It's 65 degrees here, overnight low. It's currently 70 degrees. I actually got some peaks of sun here in downtown Milwaukee. A little warmer if you get away from Lake Michigan. Overall, pretty nice day. Tomorrow looks like a winner. 78 your high, mostly sunny skies. Could touch 80 on Friday. Sun should return. Just a slight chance of some overnight rain, but the most of the day is going to be beautiful and a nice weekend on tap as well.
You know who else we're hoping to return? Our intern, Caroline. She is a go-getter. She's been awesome. Her last day is Friday, and we were talking about the burgers, and she said she might be able to go get one after the date today. And I said, why don't you go run down and get one now? See if you can get it back before the show. You can present it to us. You can take a bite. You can give us the review. But the thing is, so she ran out the door. I'm hoping that she makes it back, but we don't know. That line, it's getting longer and longer and longer. She may not even get the burger before the show's done, but we're going to see. We're going to see if Caroline comes back, busting through the door with the burger.
She seemed
like
very excited about the assignment, right? She just kind of sprinted out of here. I was like, where's she going? That's going to get a burger. Well, I think she will get a burger. I just don't think she'll be back by 3 o'clock, if I had to guess.
We're going to see. I can't wait for her review.
All right. Well, we got about 7 minutes left here. We'll see what happens. 2:53 on WTMJ at 69 degrees in Milwaukee. We're wrapping up the program here, a full edition of Wisconsin's Midday News. We're shortened again tomorrow because of Brewers baseball as they wrap up that series with the Cubs. So I'm always fascinated when this happens because, usually the Webster's Dictionary, Cambridge Dictionary, if you want to go across the pond, they add words every year. And it's a result of a variety of different things. And some of it is just the vernacular of people in today's day and age, 2024, 2025. Well, Cambridge Dictionary, this is a shocking number to me. They have added over 6,000 new words to their dictionary. 6,000 new words. And some of them are just, I don't know, they're words that the kids use, right? Like skibbity and delulu.
Like, should those be in the dictionary?
Well, that's what I'm saying, right? I mean, Urban Dictionary might have a different definition for these things. But
we don't look up the Urban Dictionary here.
Well, be cautious doing that at work. I do agree. But delulu is not a word, right? Delulu is a play on the word delusion. All right? Delusion belongs in the dictionary. Delulu does not.
But here's the thing about that one. That's something that if you just hear delulu, you can probably guess what it is without knowing. Delulu, like delusional, it comes to mind, right? Some of these other ones, you have no idea. Like the skibbity. Do you know what that is for most people? Do most people right now know what skibbity? And am I even pronouncing that right? I don't know.
You are. It's a slang term which has different meanings. It can be cool. It can be bad. It can be a variety of different things. See,
how can something be cool or bad?
Well,
it's one or the other.
I understand. Well, I totally get it. But it came about from a viral content creator of a video series called The Skibbity Toilet. You can find it on YouTube. I'm sure everybody's going to be going home and doing that tonight. You could even say, what in the skibbity are you doing? By the way. That doesn't sound good at all, right? But like if there's a propensity to shorten words in overall language, not just the English language, but I might say, I'm familiar with that. Famil being short with familiar.
You might say that.
Well, I probably won't, but some people do. But that doesn't belong in the dictionary. Famil should not be in the dictionary. I'm arguing that delulu doesn't belong as well.
Right. And something I had not, none of my friends or family use this, but trad wife, I had not heard about that. But that's an abbreviated form of traditional wife. Are people using that now? Trad wife? Obviously they are. Obviously they are. It's going in the Cambridge Dictionary.
So social media is screwing up a lot of things in our society, but they're adding words to the dictionary, and Cambridge is adding 6,000 words to its dictionary. That seems incredible to me. That's ridiculous.
Well, language is always changing. I guess that's part of the fun, right?
I suppose. 2:55 on WTMJ. We are out of time. Wisconsin's Afternoon News with Julia and Telly begins in just a few minutes here on WTMJ.
This is Al Feckler at Cannon and Dunphy. Call me old school, but I have such great memories of growing up in Milwaukee, going to ball games at County Stadium, cruising on Highway 100, even seeing Cannon and Dunphy commercials as a kid. That's because for over